Hi, welcome back guys. This is your friend, the DN What If, with another fanfiction. This is the movie of What If Deku Went on an Adventurous Vacation to India. All credits for this video go to their respective authors, so please support the real author. Check out the link in the description for more details, and go to the story link to say hi to the author. Please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now, let's get into the fanfic. The scene shows that Izuku Midoriya has just arrived after going to a park in Tokyo earlier to have a bit of R&R, as he just gained a provisional hero license, and is thinking of what to do as summer vacation is coming around the corner, and is contemplating on either to visit his mom in Ko, or go to Island to visit Melissa Shield to see how she is doing after the incident that happened months ago. While he is glad that she is okay, Midoriya was somewhat saddened that her dad, David, will have to pay the consequences of conspiring with Wolfram after being tricked into creating a device to help All Might regain his quirk. As Midoriya is walking towards the dormitory, he is intercepted by Monoma, who takes the opportunity to jab an insult towards the Class 1A member, seeing that he has nothing to do and believed that he has no one to go to for internship, and began taunting him, saying that he couldn't find a villain to take on, believing that the villains do not see Midoriya as a threat, and went to look for someone more worthy to face on. Midoriya ignored it at first and proceeded to walk away. But Monoma began taunting him again by saying that what would happen if Stain were to escape and challenge Midoriya. And Monoma said that it would be a very exciting scenario, so as to show that Class 1A is out of UA Academy Students League, which Midoriya stopped his tracks, as he unintentionally fell for the bait. Yet he restrained himself. I wonder, what if Stain? Yes, Stain, the hero killer that kicked your hide months ago. You got kicked pretty good. Oh yes. I would love to see him beat you silly. That way it'll show that Class 1A are pathetic, and the shame of UA Academy. However, Izuku Kendo showed up and decked Monoma, knocking him down and chastises him for provoking a fight, and said that his actions will get Class 1B into trouble, and told him to stop harassing Class 1A, especially Midoriya, and she apologized to Midoriya for what Monoma just did, which he just nodded and is ready to leave. However, Monoma asked Kendo why is she siding with their hated rival, which she said that Class 1A is not hated, and this made him suspect something, in which he accuses her of having a hidden desire towards Midoriya, and went far as accusing her of planning to seduce him, which caused Midoriya to blush at hearing Monoma's silly accusation. This caused Kendo to blush, and began using her quirk to beat up Monoma, telling him that his accusations are entirely baseless, and that there is nothing wrong with her socializing with Midoriya, and tells Monoma to stop spouting nonsense. Monoma, you idiot. Oh. What made you think that? Oh. Midoriya and I are schoolmates. Oh. So stop spouting such nonsense. Oh. Midoriya's sweat dropped at the scene as Kendo is disciplining Monoma. And there she smiled at Midoriya and apologized for what Monoma said minutes ago, which the Class 1A nodded and said that it is okay and assured to her that he is not taking it too personally, and said that he is fine with socializing with her, causing Kendo to stare at him in curiosity. There Monoma pointed out his theory and warned Kendo not to get too close to Midoriya, saying that he might plan on seducing her and take her to Midoriya's room so he can take away her virginity. And this made her blush furiously and resumed in beating Monoma up, which he shrieked in pain as she uses her quirk to beat him up silly. Monoma, you idiot. Oh. What made you think that? Oh. Midoriya won't go that far. Oh. So stop spouting such nonsense. Oh. Midoriya's sweat dropped again as he watched the two Class 1B members physically bicker, and he sighed at this before deciding to leave and head back to Heights Alliance to get some rest and prepare for tomorrow's classes and exercise, as he and his classmates are advised to strengthen their quirks and come up with a creative way to lessen the drawbacks of their quirks' weaknesses. At Heights Alliance, Midoriya sat on the couch at the living room area, where he is greeted by his classmates, and they were surprised at what he went through earlier, such as going to a stall in the middle of Tokyo Park, where he played a lottery game and won a second prize, which Maita and Kaminari pressured Midoriya to open the prize letter, wanting to see what prize he won. Ida was against it, saying that Midoriya has the right to privacy, and that he cannot just reveal his prize to anyone like that, and tells the two to knock it off and not force Midoriya. Though Midoriya sighed as he sees that Maita and Kaminari are showing facial responses that make them look like puppies begging for food, which made him taken aback. Yaoyorozu scolded the two boys for their behavior, and told them not to force Midoriya to reveal his prize from winning the lottery, and tells them that they should go and win it if they wanted a prize. But Maita and Kaminari said they only wanted to know what prize Midoriya won. Come on. Don't be stingy. We just want to know what prize Midoriya win. It's not that bad. We just want to know. Yeah. There's no harm in that. So let's take a look. Right. Ida joined the argument and told his two classmates to knock it off and stop harassing Midoriya. And their mind teases Ida, saying that he too wants to take a peek at Midoriya's prize. And the class rep rebutted it and chastises Minta for the unfounded accusation, sparking an argument between the two boys, which was hilarious to watch at. What was that? Eep. I would never go that far. How dare you make such an accusation? You're acting like a delinquent instead of a hero. You should be ashamed of yourself. Uraraka approached Midoriya and tells him that he should hide his prize letter so that the others won't try in attempting to take a peek, saying that it is precious to him and the others should learn to respect his privacy, which Midoriya smiled and glanced at his classmates. And there he told them to simmer down, stating that he will tell them what prize he won. The others stared in surprise, and Ida asked Midoriya if he is sure, saying that he shouldn't be pressured if he doesn't want to. But Midoriya said it is okay since he is not hiding anything from them, and there the others urges him to reveal the contents of the prize letter. Okay. We want to see. Yeah. Come on. Show it already. We're waiting. Cut the suspense. We're ready. Midoriya sighed and said that he will open the letter, and upon doing so, it revealed that he has won a ticket trip to India, which the others were slightly surprised, as they expected that he would win a lavish trip to more reputable countries, like in Europe and the Mediterranean Sea, which the others agreed, as Yaoyorozu said that countries like New Zealand and Australia would be an ideal trip for a vacation. Takoyami shared his classmates' sentiments, saying that while India is considered a tourist area, that country is plagued in some places with human rights violation, impunity and apathy, especially the crimes against women and children. The others nodded as they heard the news on the newspapers and the internet, and they wondered why someone would give Midoriya the vacation prize that is destined towards India. Whoa. Tough luck. India of all places. That place makes me cringe. I heard that there are some bad stuff. At least you get to see the elephants. Maybe you might get a magic carpet. Aladdin got one there. That's in Arabian. Minta. Eh? Midoriya thought about it carefully, and then came up with a reply, saying that everywhere around the world, while there are bad elements and bad moments, he is sure that there are good ones, and tells his classmates not to judge a country too much, as he believes that there are good people there, and he is sure that his would-be trip to India would be a good one. Ida and Yaoyorozu thought about it, and tells Midoriya that in the event that he decides to use the prize ticket, would he require a chaperone to accompany him there? Which Midoriya blinked his eyes in surprise, and asked why the sudden question like that, in which his two classmates reasoned that there may be some bad elements in India that possesses a quirk, and the two said that they are worried that he might get attacked there. Midoriya thought about it well, touched by Ida and Yaoyorozu's concerns, and the rest of class 1A, save for Bakugo and Todoroki, shared their sentiments, and said that Midoriya should consider the possibility that he might get into a fight there given that some Indian nationals there might try anything foolish given that law and order there is a 50-50 thing. Maybe you should reconsider. Yeah. Right. Think about the security and stuff. Not to mention that there might be villains there. And they might possess quirks. Maybe you needed someone to accompany you there. Yes, that would be the best choice. What do you say, Midoriya? Midoriya thought carefully about his classmates' sentiments, and said that he will be careful should he decide to go to India in order to make use of the prize ticket, and assured to Class 1A that he won't get into any sort of trouble. A few days later, Midoriya is walking by the hallway as he is heading for Power Loader's shop to see if there is any support devices that could help him in his training, as he did not want to rely too much on his quirk, as he tend to use his all-for-one at 100% in the event that he encounters a strong villain such as Muscular, who made Izuku push his limit that resulted in some injuries to his right arm. An hour ago, he talked to his teachers and Principal Nezu about his plans to take a summer vacation at India. And after some discussion they allowed Midoriya to go to India as long as no villains are aware of where he would go, reminding him the risks of getting ambushed should the villains catch wind of Midoriya's activities outside UA Academy. As Midoriya arrived at Power Loader's shop, he knocked the door a few times, which he did not get a reply, and as he peered through the door, he was taken by surprise as he saw a thick wire with a sharp hook zoomed past him, and it struck the upper wall. And there Midoriya saw Hatsume testing out a new invention she created, which is a left-handed gauntlet that has a wire and metallic hook. She saw Midoriya and greeted him, while apologizing if the wire and hook almost hit him. As Midoriya went inside, he asked what was that just now, in which Hatsume said that she is working on her newest invention, a gauntlet grappling hook, which she said that it will come in handy when the user needed something to reach higher grounds should Hash is low on quirk energy. This grabbed Midoriya's attention, as he saw the grappling hook hit the higher area of the wall, and then saw the hook and wire still attached on the gauntlet that Hatsume is wearing. He became curious as he felt that it might work, as he felt that it can be applied in strategic battles. He then asked Hatsume if she can display the gauntlet some more, which made Hatsume thrilled. Hatsume-san. Yes? Can you show me that gauntlet thing? Eh? Are you interested in this newest baby? Yeah, a grappling hook. It might come in handy, especially in combat. Haha, sure. I'll show you what this baby can do. Great, can you demonstrate it? Okay, get ready. The scene shifts at Power Loader's shop, where it shows that Izuku Midoriya arrived, and as he peered through the door, he was taken by surprise as he saw a thick wire with a sharp hook zoomed past him, and it struck the upper wall, and there Midoriya saw Hatsume testing out a new invention she created, which is a left-handed gauntlet that has a wire and metallic hook. She saw Midoriya and greeted him while apologizing if the wire and hook almost hit him. As Midoriya went inside, he asked what was that just now, in which Hatsume said that she is working on her newest invention, a gauntlet grappling hook, which she said that it will come in handy when the user needed something to reach higher grounds should hash is low on quirk energy. She said that this device would come in handy if someone needed a way to make a quick getaway, which made him more curious. Voila, see that? My newest baby. It will help you bail out of any situation should your body gets exhausted from using your quirk. Eh? Yup. This baby will take you higher and higher. Really? That's right. This grabbed Midoriya's attention as he saw the grappling hook hit the higher area of the wall and then saw the hook and wire still attached on the gauntlet that Hatsume is wearing. He became curious as he felt that it might work, as he felt that it can be applied in strategic battles. He then asked Hatsume if she can display the gauntlet some more, which made Hatsume thrilled. Hatsume-san. Yes? Can you show me that gauntlet thing? Eh? Are you interested in this newest baby? Yeah, a grappling hook. It might come in handy, especially in combat. Haha, sure. I'll show you what this baby can do. Great, can you demonstrate it? Okay, get ready. Hatsume then fastened the gauntlet on Midoriya's left forearm and told him which buttons to press should he decides to use the grappling hook in order to reach high places, as well as it can be used to knock down targets using the hook's tip. And there Midoriya felt thrilled as he believed that the gauntlet would come in handy, as he could use it to reach high places without using his quirk to do high jumps, as well as he can use it to knock down targets without relying on his quirk to activate the Detroit Smash. There he aimed his left forearm at the upper corner of the wall and activated the grappling hook, which the hooked wire is fired, and as he is about to toggle the buttons to see if he could be propelled towards the ceiling, or if it's possible to pull a target towards him, the gauntlet malfunctioned as Midoriya is suddenly pulled towards the ceiling, crashing face first. There Hatsume placed her fingers under her chin as she observed the scene, where she said that the gauntlet needs a bit of refining and will work on the wiring so it would function well. And there she apologized for what he went through, which Midoriya went silent while moaning in pain. Guess it needs a bit of refinement. But it will be a minor one, so no problem. Now then. Uraraka and Ida passed by Power Loader's shop to see if Midoriya is there, and the two Class 1 members stared wide-eyed in seeing their classmate's sorry state as Midoriya remained flat stuck in front of the upper wall, and they demanded that Hatsume bring him down, saying that Midoriya could be hurt from whatever just happened. Hatsume said she will bring him down, but she would need a ladder, and began rummaging the tools to find a ladder, much to Ida's dismay as he and Uraraka told Midoriya to hang in there as they will try to get him down, assuring him that he will be okay, and urged him not to move a muscle, which Midoriya remained silent while stuck on the wall. Midoriya. Deku. Are you okay? Deku, are you hurt? Hang in there. We'll get you down there. Power Loader showed up and is surprised at what he is seeing, and asked Hatsume what just happened and why is Midoriya stuck on the wall near the ceiling. And after being told, he sagged as he tells her to be careful in handing out gadgets when it is not fully tested yet, reasoning that anyone could get seriously hurt by her carelessness. Hatsume smiled and said that Midoriya will be okay, and said that thanks to him she now knows what to do in order to improve the gauntlets, and said that Midoriya is the perfect example of how she can improve her inventions. But an exasperated Power Loader told her not to use Midoriya as a guinea pig when it comes to experimental gadgets and inventions. Hey. What? I already told you. Huh? Don't use people as guinea pigs for your experiments. He. Hatsume. Sorry. X. A few days later, Midoriya is seen testing out the gauntlet that Hatsume made, and it showed a lot of improvements as he can now control the actions of the grappling hook, and that he can even use it to pull objects towards him, and that the gauntlet is lightweight, hence it won't put a strain on his left forearm, and can use it safely in combat situations. Hatsume smiled and said that the grappling hook's wires can be extended, in which he can climb up to 2 stories at a time, and even aid that this is better than using an actual whip, and bragged that the gauntlet is better suited than using whips that are used by known characters such as Simon Belmont and Indiana Jones. Midoriya's sweat dropped, and asked what those 2 characters she mentioned have any meaning in this. Hatsume snickered and said that the 2 characters are already classical, but outdated, and that whips can be disarmed whilst wearing a gauntlet. Midoriya won't be easily be disarmed, and tells him to be careful in using the gauntlet's grappling hook on live targets, saying that it can be fatal if struck on the target's sensitive body parts. There Midoriya nodded, and said that he will only do that as a last resort, though he finds it unlikely that he would do that on someone given that he can use his quirk to knock an opponent out without going overboard just to disable him. Hatsume smiled, and said that he is good to go, and gave him a letter with her signature, and instructed him to show it to any guard should he go to malls and other places, such as the airport, reasoning that guards are not making any exceptions, even UA Academy students, when it comes to security, and that he might encounter some problems there. Midoriya nodded and thanked Hatsume for the advice. So better hold on to that, and show it in case you get frisked and all. I see. The stamp is there, along with my signature. So everything is on board and you're good to go. Thanks, Hatsume-san. Sure, no problem. Come visit again. Sure. Power Loader came and glanced at the gauntlet that Midoriya is wearing, and then asked Hatsume if the gauntlet has been improved, and that it won't cause any trouble, which Hatsume gave a thumbs-up gesture, saying that it is safe now, and that Midoriya can use it safely, and there won't be any untoward accidents like last time, assuring him that everything is on board. Power Loader sighed in relief, and said that he is still unsure about letting Midoriya take the gauntlet with him and go somewhere, as he felt that it might pose a problem with the immigration officials at the airport should they find it too lethal to bring along. But Hatsume said that Midoriya has a letter of authorization from her and UA Academy that he can show just in case. Soon Uraraka and Ida showed up, and they saw the gauntlet that Midoriya is wearing, and they are somewhat awed at the cool-looking design. Yet they asked if it is safe for him to wear and bring along, which Midoriya assured that everything is okay, and that they have nothing to worry about. Are you sure about that? Deku. Don't worry. Everything will be okay. It's okay. I got the authorization letter, and I'm sure it won't be a problem. Make sure about that. Ida-kun's right. Suddenly, Yaoyorozu showed up, and gave Midoriya an itinerary map of India, which shows the popular tourist destination spots, and tells him which places he should go once his trip to India commences. And Ida said that this is a good one and complimented Yaoyorozu for going far just to help Midoriya, which she blushed and said it is nothing. But then she asked Midoriya if he got his passport, which the secret successor of All Might realize that he is due to get it today. A rather excited Midoriya prepares to leave, and thanked Yaoyorozu for the help, which she said it is nothing. And there Midoriya left UA Academy, which Uraraka commented that she felt jealous that Midoriya would get to travel abroad. But Yaoyorozu smiled and said that she intended to invite her, along with the other girls, to go on a trip with her to Kyoto to have a summer vacation at the hot springs. Uraraka stared wide-eyed in excitement, and thanked Yaoyorozu for that, which the class rep said it is nothing, and said that the departure time would be a week from now. Really, Yaoyorozu-san? Uh-huh. You're invited along with our other female classes. Wow, thanks. It's nothing. Really? Thank you very much. Sure. But you need to prepare your things. Our departure time would be due next week. Got it. Okay. X. Several days later, summer vacation has commenced, and everyone at UA Academy are getting ready to spend their summer vacation. And at the gates of Heights Alliance, Yaoyorozu is standing there as Uraraka, Asui, Ashido, Kyoka, and Hagakure are assembled and are ready to go, as they will be traveling by Shinkansen. And Yaoyorozu reminded her classmates to have everything ready for the trip, and tells them not to lag behind as the train schedule is prompt, and they cannot afford to be late. The 6 girls assured to her that all is ready, and that she has nothing to worry about, and Yaoyorozu sighed in relief, as the 6 girls said that they are all ready for the trip to Kyoto, and Ashido is excited to get to the train station, which Uraraka eagerly agreed. The 2 girls were so excited that barely contained their exciting outlook on the trip. Wow. Our first summer vacation trip. And it's going to be at Kyoto. 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 The hot springs. The food. The inn. After that, the girls boarded a taxi, and they are on their way to the train station. Aizawa watches them leave inside, as Heights Alliance is going to become somewhat quiet, while All Might asked him if he is okay about letting Midoriya leave for India, which Aizawa said that as long as no villain is aware, Midoriya will be fine, though he do express a bit of concern given that there are inhabitants at India who possess quirks, and it is possible that there may be bad elements there that Midoriya might encounter. All Might felt worried for a moment, Yet he regained his confident outlook and assured to Aizawa that Midoriya will be okay, and that the boy will be extra careful and would avoid unnecessary battles while at another country, confident that the boy will not try to flaunt his status as a UA student, and that with his provisional hero license, he is sure that Midoriya won't get into trouble. You sure are confident as usual, All Might. Of course. Still, Midoriya shouldn't let his guard down. I'm sure that young Midoriya would be very careful and not let his emotion get in the way of being careful when in another country. Still, being 14 and all, that kid still. He'll be fine, Aizawa. HMPH. Ha ha ha. Aizawa sighed as he head back to UA Academy, with All Might following, where the two teachers are going to do some paperwork to take advantage of the fact that there won't be any students that would cause a bit of trouble. X. At the airport, Midoriya stood at the immigration gate as guards are inspecting his belongings, where everything seemed to be in order, and that his passport is well documented. Though they do question the gauntlet he is carrying, and Midoriya showed the documents and the such, showing that everything is in order, and that he is not carrying any illegal weapons. The guard checked the gauntlet again, and at the letter of authority, and out of security concern, the guard contacted UA Academy and talked to Power Loader regarding the gauntlet, and after a few minutes, the guard returned the gauntlet to Midoriya and said that everything is cleared, and tells him to be careful, as he heard that security at India and the law enforcement there is somewhat lax. The 15-year-old boy nodded and assured to him that he will be careful and will stay away from trouble, which the guard nodded, as he tells Midoriya not to get carried away just because he is well known in Japan, as he pointed out that not all hero students are well received in other countries, in particular like India. Just be careful, kid. I heard that India has quite a lot of bad reputation when it comes to human rights and stuff, especially about women. I see. You'd be best stay out of trouble. I understand. Good. Then you better enjoy your vacation. I will. After that, Midoriya went to the departure area, and after several minutes he boarded the plane, and he is just moments away from leaving Tokyo. And soon the plane took off, and he is on his way to India. Inside the airport, Midoriya is sitting on his assigned seat beside the window, looking at the skies as he is just a few hours away from landing in India. And he is looking at the map of India where certain tourist spots are seen, and he is checking his itinerary to figure out which place he should go first in order to settle at a hotel before planning out his first visit. A stewardess passes by and offered him complimentary food and drinks, canned soft drinks, that is Coke or Sprite to be exact, which Midoriya thanked her for. And there the stewardess, who is of Indian descent, recognized him after seeing him on TV recently for defeating Kai Chisaki and other certain villains through CNN, and said that she is glad to meet someone like him here, and asked what is he going to do at India. And there the teen boy smiled and told her the reason. The stewardess smiled and tells him to enjoy his stay in India and hoped that he gets a good experience during his stay there, and that he finds something memorable to tell his classmates once he returned to his country of origin. Then please enjoy your stay at India. You will love our country. Really? Yes. Lots of memorable places you would like to visit. Yeah, I'll do that. And I'm sure there are people who would recognize you. Sure. Okay then, enjoy your flight. I will. However, his trip en route to India would not be as peaceful as expected, as there was a rowdy passenger, who is of Indian descent, and he appeared to be looking for a fight, as he recognized Midoriya and began belittling the boy, and even said that he is not a hero but a wannabe, and even said that the boy's accomplishments are just child's play and amount to nothing. The stewardess attempted to pacify the unruly passenger and told him to take his seat, but the rude passenger slapped her aside, and then challenged Midoriya to a fight, which Midoriya declined at first, saying he is only here to take a vacation. But then the unruly passenger took out what appeared to be a thick knife-shaped steel object and threatened to puncture a hole on the window that would cause a vacuum of air to seep in and bring the plane down, and then taunted Midoriya for being a coward. So, will you accept my challenge? HA. If you don't, I make a hole on the plane, and you know what will happen. You can't be serious. I am. So then, let's fight. The other passengers were worried, and a pair attempted to subdue him, but were overpowered and injured, and there the unruly passenger gave Midoriya an ultimatum. Either the boy accepts the challenge or the passenger would bring the plane down, and took out what appeared to be a grenade. And this caused the other passengers to get scared. Midoriya gritted his teeth as he finds himself in a pinch, and reluctantly accepts the challenge and decided to end this conflict and plans to use a small portion, if his quirk, to knock the troublemaker out. But then he realized that he has the gauntlet, and puts it on his left forearm, and aimed it at the unruly man's right hand, and activated the grappling hook and caught the grenade, and he took it, which surprised the man, and there Midoriya discovered that the grenade is only a fake, And then he decided to disarm and disable the man by using the full cowling and focused its energy on his left foot, where he did a running flying kick, which sends the man across and knocks him out. There the rest of the crew tied up the man and puts him in his seat. Then the crew apologized to Midoriya and the other passengers for what happened. But they said that it is okay, and they thanked Midoriya for stopping the foolish man from causing a ruckus, even though the boy is really the man's target. Sorry about that, kid. Yes, that man is a shame of India. Please do not think badly of us Indians. No, of course not. Thank you, boy. We'll see to it that this man will be arrested. Please enjoy your flight. We will be there soon. The rest of the minutes went on without further incident, and the flight went on to become generally peaceful. And Midoriya sighed as he never thought that his vacation trip would net him an unsanctioned hero duty that is outside Japanese land. The flight crew then thanked Midoriya for the help and apologized for the disturbance, which he said it is okay. And the flight crew offered him complimentary food and drinks as gratitude for his help, which Midoriya was surprised at the generosity of the flight crew. At Ua High, some of the Class 1B students are seen at the garden area where some of the Class 1A students are there, and they overheard Ida, Uraraka and Yaoyorozu discussing about Midoriya going to India all by himself, and that they are confident that Midoriya will be fine all by himself, and that his trip there would be enjoyable. Some of the Class 1B students were astounded upon hearing and learning that Midoriya got a free trip to India, and that he would get to some of the most popular tourist destination spots. And some became impressed and commented that Midoriya is such a lucky boy as he would get to have all the fun. And Izuku Kendo approached Yaoyorozu and asked if Midoriya is really on his way to India, which Yaoyorozu nodded and said that by now Midoriya should be arriving soon there. Really? Yes. He should arrive at India at this time. Wow. Midoriya is really lucky. I suppose he is. Makes me wish I want to take an overseas trip. I'm sure that one day you would get one, Kendo-san. Yeah, I really like to visit South Korea. That's a bit ambitious, though. However, Monoma showed up and began taunting Class 1A at Midoriya's expense, saying that Midoriya is sure to get into trouble due to him having the provisional hero license, and that Midoriya is sure to look for a fight and brag to the world how a great a hero he is, which caused Ida and Uraraka to glare at Monoma, seeing that he is just here to provoke Class 1A. Kendo put a stop to Monoma's foolishness by knocking him out, and there she apologized to Yaoyorozu, Ida and Uraraka about her classmates' foolishness, though the trio said that it is okay. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we don't mind. Just get him out of here. Before he wakes up. He might get all of us in trouble. So please, put a tape on his mouth and shut him up. After that, Kendo dragged a knocked-out Monoma as they head back to the dorm, while the trio Class 1A members pondered on what to do next. Indira Gandhi International Airport. The Indira Gandhi International Airport is the main international airport situated in the NCR National Capital Region. It is a public airport and is located in the southwest part of the city. The busiest airport of the country. It houses 6 terminals for serving the passengers. The airport has a capacity of managing over 46 million passengers. About 80 airlines operate from this airport. The airport functions as a hub for the following airlines: Air India Regional, Air India, Goer, Blue Dart Aviation, Jagson Airlines, Indigo, Jet Airways, Jetlight, SpiceJet, and Kingfisher Airlines. Midoriya realized that he is now in New Delhi, the main capital of India, and there he went around the arrival area to pick up his belongings and went to the gate where he submitted his bags for inspection via the X-ray machine, which passed safety requirements, and then showed his passport to the immigration guard. The guard checked the passport, and upon seeing the boy's name, the guard offered good compliments to the boy when he realized who Midoriya is, as the guard saw the boy on TV when the US Sports Festival aired on Indian TV. Izuku Midoriya, hey, you're that boy with the green costume, aren't you? Yes. I saw the US Sports Festival, you look cool. Really? Yes, and I know you aim to become a hero, right? Well, yes. Welcome to India. Please enjoy your stay, and I'm sure our people here in India would be thrilled to meet an international hero like you. Ha 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 ha. Midoriya smiled and went on his way, and passed by a shop where he looked for a map where various tourist spots are shown, as Midoriya needed one given that this is his first time here in India and has no idea where to go. He then passed by an internet cafe and decided to go there and surf the internet, where he downloaded the list of recommended places in India where he would go on a tourist trip, and found the following places that has the most recommendations. The places he found are shown and described. 1. The Taj Mahal, Agra. Perhaps India's most recognizable building. The Taj Mahal is also the world's most famous testimony to the power of love. named after Mumtaz Mahal, the favorite wife of Emperor Shah Jahan. This most beautiful of mausoleums was begun upon her death in 1631 and took 20,000 workmen until 1648 to complete, incorporating many elements of Islamic design, including arches, minarets, an onion-shaped dome, and black calligraphy inlaid around the entrance. The Taj Mahal is largely constructed of white marble decorated with delicate inlaid floral patterns and precious and semi-precious stones such as jade, lapis lazuli, diamonds, and mother of pearl. The best time to visit is either at dawn or dusk, when the atmosphere is brilliantly altered by the change in lighting. If possible, try to catch a view of the Taj Mahal's reflection from the far bank of the Yamuna River. It makes for a memorable and safe selfie. Address: 64 Taj Road, Agra 28201. 2. The Holy City of Varanasi. A major pilgrimage center for Hindus, the Holy City of Varanasi has long been associated with the mighty Ganges River, one of the faith's most important religious symbols. Dating back to the 8th century BC, Varanasi is one of the oldest still inhabited cities in the world. It offers many reasons to visit, not least of them the chance to explore the old quarter adjacent to the Ganges, where you'll find the Kashi Vishwanath Temple. Built in 1780, the new Vishwanath Temple, with its 7 separate temples, is also of interest. Bathing in the Ganges is of great importance to Hindus, and numerous locations known as ghats feature stairways leading to the water where the faithful bathe before prayers. All told, Varanasi boasts more than 100 ghats, the largest being Dasashvamedh Ghat and Asi Ghat, the latter, at the confluence of the Ganges and Asi rivers, is considered particularly holy. Also worth seeing is Banaras Hindu University, established in 1917 and noted for its massive library with more than 1 million books, and the superb Bharat Kala Bhavan Museum featuring fine collections of miniature paintings, sculptures, palm leaf manuscripts, and local history exhibits. 3. Harmandir Sahib, the Golden Temple of Amritsar. Founded in 1577 by Ram Das, Amritsar is an important hub of Sikh history and culture. The main attraction here is Harmandir Sahib, opened in 1604 and still often referred to as the Golden Temple for its beautiful gold decoration. The holiest of India's many Sikh shrines, it also attracts many Hindus and people of other faiths. The temple was built in a blend of Hindu and Islamic styles, its lower marble section featuring such flourishes as ornate inlaid floral and animal motifs, while the large golden dome represents a lotus flower, a symbol of purity to Sikhs. In addition to its splendid design, visitors are equally impressed with the temple's spiritual atmosphere, an effect enhanced by the prayers continuously chanted from the Sikh holy book and broadcast throughout the complex. Part of the overall experience, and visitors are welcome to participate, is the chance to enjoy one of the 50,000 free meals the attraction serves up to visitors each and every day. Address: Golden Temple Road, Amritsar, Punjab 14306. 4. The Golden City, Jaisalmer. So named for the yellow sandstone used in most of its buildings, the Golden City of Jaisalmer is an oasis of splendid old architecture that rises from the sand dunes of the Thar Desert. Once a strategic outpost, today the city is filled with splendid old mansions, magnificent gateways, and the massive Jaisalmer Fort, also known as the Golden Fort, a daunting 12th century structure that rises high above the town. In addition to its palaces, temples, and fine old homes, the fortress boasts 99 bastions along with massive gates, leading to its main courtyard, where you'll find the 7-story tall Maharaja's Palace, started in the early 1500s and added to by successive rulers right up until the 19th century. The palace offers sections open to the public, including areas beautifully decorated with tiles from Italy and China, and intricately carved stone doors, as well as a number of Jain temples dating from the 12th to 16th centuries, each decorated with fine marble and sandstone images, palm leaf manuscripts, and brightly painted ceilings. Be sure to also check out the well-preserved 1,000-year-old library, Jain Bandar, with its many 16th century manuscripts and antiquities. 5. The Red Fort, New Delhi. Built by Shah Jahan in 1648 as the seat of Mughal power, a role it maintained until 1857, the magnificent crescent-shaped Red Fort in New Delhi, named after the stunning red sandstone used in its construction, covers a vast area of more than 2 square kilometers, all of it surrounded by a large moat. Highlights include its 2 largest gates, the impressive Lahore Gate, the fort's main entrance, and the elaborately decorated Delhi Gate, once used by the emperor for ceremonial processions. A fun part of a visit is exploring Chata Chowk, a 17th century covered bazaar selling everything from jewelry to silk garments, as well as souvenirs and food items. While you can explore the fort yourself, guided tours are offered and provide a fascinating insight into the life and times of the Shah, including a peek into the stunning white marble hall of public audiences Diwan, where he received his subjects. Address: Netaji Subhash Marg, Chandni Chowk, New Delhi, Delhi 1106. 6. Mumbai, the gateway of India. Standing an impressive 26 meters tall and overlooking the Arabian Sea, the iconic Gateway of India is a must-see when in Mumbai. Built to commemorate the arrival of King George V and his wife Queen Mary in 1911. This stunning piece of architecture was opened with much pomp and ceremony in 1924 and was, for a while, the tallest structure in the city. Constructed entirely of yellow basalt and concrete and notable for its Indo-Saracenic design. The Gateway of India was also the scene of a rather less jubilant procession of British soldiers in 1948, when India gained its independence. These days, the huge archway provides a stunning backdrop that is as popular among locals as it is tourists. 7. Mecca Masjid, Hyderabad. Construction of Hyderabad's Mecca Masjid, one of the world's largest mosques and one of the oldest in India, began in 1614 during Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah's reign and took almost 80 years to complete. Large enough to accommodate 10,000 worshippers, this beautiful mosque's 15 enormous arches and pillars were each wrought from single slabs of black granite dragged to the site by huge cattle trains reputedly consisting of up to 1,400 bulls, taking its name from the bricks above the central gate that were brought here from Mecca. This impressive complex features highlights, such as its main gateway, huge plaza, a large man-made pond, and a room that houses the hair of Prophet Muhammad. Other notable features include inscriptions from the Quran above many of the arches and doors, the exquisite roof of the main hall, the cornices around the entire mosque structure, and the floral motifs and friezes over the arches. Address: Hyderabad, Telangana 5002. 8. Amber Fort, Jaipur. Amber Fort, often also spelt Amber, was built as a fortified palace in 1592 by Maharaja Man Singh I and has long served as the capital of Jaipur. Carved high up into the hillside, the fort is accessible on foot via a steep climb or by shuttle rides from the town below. Better still, let an elephant do the work. Highlights include Jalab Chowk, the first courtyard, with its many decorated elephants, and the Sheila Devi temple, dedicated to the goddess of war. Also of note is the adjoining hall of public audience Diwan Im, with its finely decorated walls and terraces frequented by monkeys. Other highlights include Sukh Niwas, the hall of pleasure with its many flower beds, and a channel once used to carry cooling water, and the temple of Victory Jai Mandir, notable for its many decorative panels, colorful ceilings, and excellent views over the palace and the lake below. Just above Amber Fort is Jaigarh Fort, built in 1726 by Jai Singh, and featuring tall lookout towers, formidable walls, and the world's largest wheeled cannon. Be sure to also spend time wandering the walled old city of Jaipur, with its 3 fully restored gates and splendid bazaars, as well as the delightful city palace, a massive complex of courtyards, gardens, and buildings. 9. The beaches of Goa. Long known within India as the go-to destination for those seeking a great beach holiday, Goa's beautiful western coastline, overlooking the Arabian Sea, has only recently been discovered by tourists from overseas. Goa's more than 60 miles of coastline is home to some of the world's loveliest beaches, each with their own particular appeal. For those looking for peace and quiet, isolated Agonda Beach is a good choice, while Kalangut Beach is by far the most commercial and crowded. For those in search of posh resorts, yoga getaways, and spa vacations, the beaches of Mandram, Morjam, and Ashram are fashionable among wealthy Indians and Westerners alike. Palolem is another popular option in a beautiful setting. While in Goa, be sure to visit the Bhagwan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary. This superb attraction is home to thick forests and plenty of fauna, including deer, monkeys, elephants, leopards, tigers, and black panthers, as well as India's famous king cobras, and some 200 species of birds. Also worth a visit is Divar Island, accessed by ferry from Old Goa. Highlights include Pedade, a typical Goan village and home to the Church of Our Lady of Compassion, with its interesting stucco work, Baroque plaster decorations, and altars, as well as stunning views of the surrounding countryside. 10. Periyar National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary, Madurai. One of South India's most popular tourist attractions, Periyar National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary is centered around a lake built by British engineers in 1895 for irrigation and to provide water to the city of Madurai. Established in 1934, this beautiful park is home to numerous species of mammals, including a large free-roaming Indian elephant population, wild boar, otters, the lion-tailed macaque, and more than 20 Bengal tigers. Bird watching is a popular activity with frequent sightings of species such as darters, storks, kingfishers, hornbills, and racket-tailed drongos, along with many interesting varieties of butterflies. The best ways to enjoy the park's splendid mountain scenery are to take a lake cruise or guided jungle walk, the latter allowing visitors a chance to come face-to-face with elephant herds and observe other wildlife from watchtowers and viewing platforms. Hot tip: Be sure to stop at one of the many nearby spice, tea, or coffee plantations for a tour. 11. Agra Fort. Built as a military structure in 1565 by Emperor Akbar, with later additions by Shah Jahan. The stunning Agra Fort, also known as Agra's Red Fort, is an interesting mix of both Hindu and Muslim influences. Located a little more than 2 kilometers from the Taj Mahal, the fort is entered through Amar Singh Gate with its low outer wall and dogleg design built to confuse attackers. Once inside, you'll see 2 large interlinked sandstone buildings, Akbari Mahal and Jahangiri Mahal, the largest private residence in the complex. Other highlights include the Taj Mahal Private Palace, with its splendid copper roof, and the Angry Bog Grape Garden, a jigsaw-patterned Mughal garden with numerous wonderful fountains and water channels, as well as screens that once offered a private area for the emperor and his entourage. Also of note is the octagonal Musamman Burj Tower, which later served as Shah Jahan's prison until his death. Address: Rakabganj, Agra, Uttar Pradesh 28-2003. 12. The Ellora Caves, Aurangabad. The famous monumental Ellora Caves were built between the 5th and 10th centuries by Buddhist, Jain, and Hindu monks, and make for an excellent excursion from Mumbai, some 300 kilometers to the west. Now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, this remarkable collection of 34 carved monasteries, chapels, and temples, 12 of them Buddhist, 17 Hindu, and 5 belonging to the Jain faith, were built in close proximity to each other, a reflection of the religious tolerance that existed during this period of Indian history. Of the Buddhist monastery caves, highlights include a number of shrines featuring carvings of Buddha and saints dating from the 5th to 7th centuries, as well as the stunning Carpenter's Cave, considered one of the finest in India. The Hindu caves are much more complex and were carved from the top down, so scaffolding was not necessary. Of these, the best is the Kailasa Temple, an enormous rock-cut temple representing Mount Kailasa and requiring the removal of 200,000 tons of rock. 13. Mehrangarh Fort, Jodhpur. Dominating the old city of Jodhpur, the massive Mehrangarh Fort, one of the largest fortifications in India, was built in the 15th century to safeguard the people of the famous Blue City, as Jodhpur is still known, a name derived from its indigo-colored houses, painted blue to deflect the heat. Built on top of a towering outcrop, Mehrangarh is an amazing feat of construction, its massive walls all but impenetrable. Access is via one of 7 splendid gates, including Jayapal and Fatehpal, the latter still bears scars from cannon attacks. Highlights of a visit include exploring the fort's fascinating network of courtyards and palaces, as well as a museum housing a splendid collection of artifacts related to the Maharajas. Be sure to spend time in the historic center of Jodhpur itself, famous for its 8 city gates, a lovely old clock tower, and numerous bazaars selling everything from vegetables to sweets, spices, and handicrafts. Address: Fort Road, Jodhpur, Rajasthan 34-2006. 14. Mysore Palace. The sprawling city of Mysore is a delight to explore thanks to its eclectic mix of fine old colonial architecture, regal Indian palaces, and lush, well-manicured gardens. While those inclined towards shopping will enjoy spending time in the city's famous silk and sandalwood bazaars, the main attraction is magnificent Mysore Palace. Completely rebuilt in 1897 after a devastating fire, this beautiful 3-storied palace features highlights, such as its elegant square towers and domes, the many ornate ceilings and pillars in Durbar Hall, and the splendid marriage pavilion, with its glazed floor tiles, stunning stained glass, artworks, and displays of jewelry. It's also where, on special occasions, the exquisite golden throne is exhibited. For a real treat, be sure to catch one of the splendid light displays held each Sunday and during holidays, when the palace is illuminated by more than 90,000 lights. A fun way to explore the palace's massive grounds and gardens is as part of a cycle tour, available free once inside. Address: Sayaji Rao Road, Mysuru, Karnataka 5-7-0-1. 15. Mahabodhi Temple, Bodh Gaya. Bodh Gaya, considered the world's holiest Buddhist site, attracts thousands of visitors each year, all drawn to participate with the resident monks in meditation and prayer. The focal point of this place of pilgrimage is stunning Mahabodhi Temple, built next to the very spot where Buddha came to enlightenment and formulated his philosophy on life. Constructed in the 6th century and restored numerous times since, the temple is topped with a beautiful pyramidal spire and houses a large gilded statue of Buddha. Also of interest is the site's pipal tree, a descendant of the original Bodhi tree, where Buddha meditated for 7 days after the Enlightenment. Said to be among the oldest and most venerated trees in the world, you'll know you found it when you spot the red sandstone slab marking the spot. Address: Bodh Gaya, Bihar 824231. Having what he needed, Midoriya printed the info on a bond paper and paid to the cashier, and then leaves the airport, where he took a taxi and asked the driver to take him to the nearest hostel. which the driver obliges, and upon seeing Midoriya, he asked if Midoriya is alone, and if he is fine going to places all by himself, as he can tell the Midoriya is a high school student from another country. Yes, I'm in high school. All by yourself? Yes. Quite brave of you. Just be careful. Not every place in India is safe. I understand. Thanks for the concern. Well then, shall we go? Yes, sir. Okay, enjoy the ride. Midoriya chatted with the cab driver and soon arrived at the destination, where Midoriya paid the taxi fare and went inside the hostel where he would settle in to rest and plan out his tourist trip on which places he would intend to go to begin his vacation. The Taj Mahal, also known as the Crown of the Palace, is an ivory white marble mausoleum on the south bank of the Yamuna River in the Indian city of Agra. It was commissioned in 1632 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, reigned from 1628 to 1658, to house the tomb of his favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. It also houses the tomb of Shah Jahan himself. The tomb is the centerpiece of a 17-hectare 42-acre complex, which includes a mosque and a guest house, and is set in formal gardens bounded on three sides by a crenellated wall. It was one of India's most frequently visited areas where tourists and residents often flock due to its rich history and its vast resources and ambience, and most of the visitors are from neighboring countries within Asia and others from other places, such as Europe and North America, where the rich and the middle-class people are the ones who came here to visit. The time now is 9 o'clock, and it shows that 2 days have passed since Izuku Midoriya arrived. And after planning his itinerary, he decided to visit Taj Mahal first based on the favorable reviews he read via the internet, and from some residents who recommended it. And now Midoriya is among the several tourists who arrived here, and he is ready to make his first visit as a tourist. However, his supposed peaceful visit did not last long, as some of the other tourists noticed Midoriya and recognized him after watching him live at the recent sports festival of Yuva Academy. And they began complimenting him for his performance and determination after narrowly losing to Shoto Todoroki at the semifinals. The admirers ranges from Asians to Europeans, and complimented Midoriya for showing his cool intellect in formulating strategies that helped him get through the final rounds of the sports festival. Hey, I saw you on cable TV. You sure are cool. Yeah, you made it to the semifinals. It's a shame you narrowly lost to the boy with fire and ice. But you shouldn't be daunted. You have a long way to go. So you plan to a hero, right? Keep it up, lad. You'll achieve your dreams soon. Keep up the good work, boy. Midoriya blushed and said that he did not do anything special, and said that he is just an aspiring hero student. Yet his act of humbleness and humility further earned the respect of the other tourists, and tells the 15-year-old boy that he will soon reach his dreams and become a bona fide pro-hero, and that his humbleness is what will take him to the top. They also told Midoriya that he should be mindful of his surroundings since he is in a foreign country, and told him to take note that there are some countries who do not appreciate hero students from other countries stealing their thunder, and advises him to act only if necessary and not out of showing off. Be mindful of your surroundings, lad. You're in a foreign country. They sometimes do not appreciate quirked people from other countries stealing India's limelight, if you get my drift. So don't jump in unless the situation calls for it, boy. Remember, you're a visitor and not a local. We're telling you this since we are quite concerned about the fact that you came here alone. Don't take it too personally. Sure, thanks, sir, ma'am. By then, the tour guide came and told the tourists to line up as they are about to begin the tour of Taj Mahal. And so the tourists, Midoriya included, began to follow the tour guides as they began their trek and began to walk about the area they are in. As the tour is underway, the tour guide began explaining the origins of the area, where he told the tourists about the construction of the mausoleum, which was essentially completed in 1643. But work continued on other phases of the project for another 10 years. According to the tour guide, the Taj Mahal complex is believed to have been completed in its entirety in 1653 at a cost estimated at the time to be around 32 million rupees, which in recent times would be approximately 52.8 billion rupees, thus $827 million. The construction project employed some 20,000 artisans under the guidance of a board of architects led by the court architect to the emperor, Ustad Ahmad Lahori. The tourists were astounded at hearing this and learned something about how Taj Mahal came to be. Wow. Interesting. So that's it. Hearing this info in live action is better than reading Wikipedia. Glad I came here. So educational. Makes me to want to visit this place again. This is gonna be good. The tour guide then explained that the Taj Mahal was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983 for being the jewel of Muslim art in India and one of the universally admired masterpieces of the world's heritage. It is regarded by many as the best example of Mughal architecture and a symbol of India's rich history. The Taj Mahal attracts 7-8 million visitors a year, and in 27, it was declared a winner of the new 7 Wonders of the World 2027 initiative. Midoriya listened attentively and learned something about the lecture, and he began to mumble about what he learned, which caught the attention of the other tourists, and they were bemused to see Midoriya acting like an elementary student on a field trip. And they jokingly told him that he is in a tour with tourists, and not at a school field trip, which Midoriya apologized. But the tourists politely assured to him that it is okay. Sorry about that. Oh, don't sweat it. It's fine. You sure are innocent. Makes me wish I had my youth again. Better enjoy your trip here. You'll never get to experience this again. All right. The tour guide sighed and told the rest to pay attention as he continued his lecture, explaining more about Taj Mahal's history, where he explained that the Taj Mahal was commissioned by Shah Jahan in 1631 to be built in the memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal, who died on the 17th of June that year, giving birth to their 14th child, Gauhara Begum. Construction started in 1632, and the mausoleum was completed in 1643, while the surrounding buildings and garden were finished 5 years later. The imperial court documenting Shah Jahan's grief after the death of Mumtaz Mahal illustrates the love story held as the inspiration for the Taj Mahal. According to the lecture of the tour guide, the Taj Mahal incorporates and expands on design traditions of Persian and earlier Mughal architecture. Specific inspiration came from successful Timurid and Mughal buildings, including the Gur-e-Amir, the tomb of Timur, progenitor of the Mughal dynasty, in Samarkand, Humayun's tomb, which inspired the Charbagh Gardens and Hasht-Behesht architecture plan of the site. Imad ad-Daula's tomb, sometimes called the Baby Taj, and Shah Jahan's own Jama Masjid in Delhi. While earlier Mughal buildings were primarily constructed of red sandstone, Shah Jahan promoted the use of white marble inlaid with semi-precious stones. Buildings under his patronage reached new levels of refinement. The tourists then took out their smartphones and began taking pictures of the important artifacts that were on display. And some did a selfie as they commented that this was one of the best tourist destinations they ever done. And they were glad to have come here without a second thought. Selfie. Haha. Sure, I'm glad to come here. It was a blast. I'll make sure I'd come back here again. This is one of the best tourist destination ever. Next time, I'll invite my friends to come over here. Yeehaw. As Midoriya is also taking pictures, his smartphone rang, and he answered it, where it was a long-distance call, where the caller turned out to be his mom, Inko, and she asked her only child how his trip in India is, which he assured to her that he is doing fine, and that she should not worry too much as he is safe and sound, and stated that he is in the middle of a tour in Taj Mahal. Really, Izuku? Yes, Mom. Okay, just enjoy your trip. I will. Make sure that you... I know, Mom, I know. Okay, see you soon. Yes, Mom. Seeing that her son is doing fine, Inko tells her son to be extra careful since he is all by himself, and he assured to her that he is doing fine and that she has nothing to worry about. And as the call ended, Midoriya is ready to listen more of the lectures from the tour guide. But then he discreetly noticed one of the tourists, seeing that his shoes are somewhat disheveled and that his attire was a bit dusty. He also noticed that the person's hand is inside his pocket and that he is trying to pull something out, and Midoriya sensed that something is amiss. So he pretended that he did not notice anything and remained discreet to avoid attracting suspicion. Soon the tourist pulled something out from his pocket, which turned out to be a grenade, and the person turns out to be not a tourist, but a jihadist, as he tells the tourists that they are infidels who are feasting over the treasures of India, and that they will pay in kind, such as their worthless lives and their blood, which the tourists began to panic. He's got a grenade. Watch out. He's gonna throw it at us. Eek. Run. Someone call for help. Save us. I don't want to die. As the jihadist is about to remove the safety pin of the grenade, Midoriya went into action, as he activated his full cowling and tackled the attacker in blinding speed, and punched him on his gut, disabling him while taking the grenade and gave it to the tour guide while telling him to call for security. Here. Whoa. The safety pin is still there. Oh. Call for the police. Why, yes. Anyone. I need something to tie up this man. Okay? As the other tourist helped Midoriya in tying up the jihadist, they thanked the boy for his prompt action and said that it is unfortunate that there are people who do nothing but cause trouble, all in the misguided name of religion. As the jihadist turned out to be of a Pakistani who secretly came here illegally and is indoctrinated into doing terrorism as a way of life. You infidels are sick. You're the one who is sick. Yeah, why cause trouble when no one here done anything wrong to you? Is hurting people all you can think about? It is the way it should be. Our God permitted it, as it will bring salvation. You're a messed up guy. You ought to be put in the mental hospital. Someone shut this guy up. Yeah, he's crazy. The jihadist was defiant, and said that he is doing this in the name of the Almighty. Yet Midoriya rebuked him for using religion as an excuse for committing murder. But the jihadist insisted that it was justified as he is doing his will and nothing more, and even told Midoriya that he is the devil that must be purged in order for India to become a holy land once more. Midoriya glared at the attacker, but the police came and thanked him for the help, telling him not to get riled up at a person who is a lost cause, and told him to enjoy the rest of his vacation here, which Midoriya nodded, and as the attacker is taken away, the tour guide assembled everyone and continued the tour at Taj Mahal, and everything went well without further incident. By the end of the day, Midoriya returned to the hostel he is staying, and is planning his next visit, now that he has taken a lot of pictures of Taj Mahal, and is now considering in making his next tour, when the janitor came and told Midoriya that he is being credited on the news about him stopping the jihadist, and Midoriya humbly said he is just doing what a citizen would do. Hey, boy. Huh? You're on TV. Me? Yes. You were given credit for saving the tourists while in Taj Mahal. Well. You really are a hero. After that, he decided to rest up and prepare for his next trip. Amritsar, historically also known as, and colloquially as Amritsar, is a city in northwestern India, which is the administrative headquarters of the Amritsar district, and is located in the Major region of the Indian state of Punjab. According to the 2011 census, the population of Amritsar was 1,130,761. It is one of the 10 municipal corporations in the state, and Karamjit Singh Rintu is the current mayor of the city. The city is situated 217 kilometers 135 miles northwest of state capital Chandigarh, and 455 kilometers 283 miles northwest of New Delhi, the national capital. It is near Pakistan, with the Wagah border being only 28 kilometers 17.4 miles away. Amritsar has been chosen as one of the heritage cities for Hriday Heritage City Development and Augmentation Yojana scheme of Government of India. Amritsar is home to Harmandir Sahib, popularly known as the Golden Temple, one of Sikhism's most spiritually significant and most visited gurudwaras. The city is also known for its wooden chessboards and chess pieces manufacturing industry. Midoriya arrived minutes ago, as he joins a group of tourists who are seeking to learn its history, as well as taking souvenir pictures. And the teen boy is rather excited, and hoped that he doesn't encounter another troublemaker like what happened recently at Taj Mahal. There another group of tourists recognized Midoriya and complimented him in a friendly way. He modestly said he is just a student wanting to become a pro hero, and the tourists encouraged him to do his best so that he can become successful in his upcoming career. Keep up the good work, boy. Do your best. Be the great hero that you want to be. And don't let success get to your head. The world will be watching you. And don't let the support you receive go in vain. You'll one day become a real hero. Be like All Might. By then, the tour guide arrived and had everyone assembled. And there the tour within Amritsar is about to commence. And there the tour guide began explaining about the site's history, which Midoriya began to take notes of the lecture. According to the tour guide, Guru Ram Das, the fourth Sikh guru, is credited with founding the holy city of Amritsar in the Sikh tradition. Two versions of stories exist regarding the land where Ram Das settled. In one based on a gazetteer record, the land was purchased with Sikh donations for 700 rupees from the owners of the village of Tung. According to the Sikh historical records, the site was chosen by Guru Amar Das and called Guru Da Chak, after he had asked Ram Das to find land to start a new town with a man-made pool as its central point. After his coronation in 1574, and the hostile opposition he faced from the sons of Amar Das, Ram Das founded the town named after him as Ramdaspur. He started by completing the pool and building his new official Guru Center and home next to it. He invited merchants and artisans from other parts of India to settle into the new town with him. The town expanded during the time of Arjun, financed by donations and constructed by voluntary work. The town grew to become the city of Amritsar, and the pool area grew into a temple complex after his son built the Gurdwara Harmandir Sahib and installed the scripture of Sikhism inside the new temple in 1604. The construction activity between 1574 and 1604 is described in Mahima Prakash Vartak, a semi-historical Sikh hagiography text likely composed in 1741, and the earliest known document dealing with the lives of all the 10 gurus. Soon the next topic is shown about the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. According to the tour guide, the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, involving the killings of hundreds of Indian civilians on the orders of a senior British military officer, Reginald Edward Harry Dyer, took place on the 13th of April 1919 in the heart of Amritsar, the holiest city of the Sikhs, on a day sacred to them as the birth anniversary of the Khalsa Vaisakhi Day. In Punjab, during World War I 1914-18, there was considerable unrest, particularly among the Sikhs, First on account of the demolition of a boundary wall of Gurdwara Rakab Ganj at New Delhi, and later, because of the activities and trials of the Gadarites, almost all of whom were Sikhs. In India as a whole, too, there had been a spurt in political activity, mainly owing to the emergence of two leaders. Mahatma Gandhi 1869–1948, who after a period of struggle against the British in South Africa, had returned to India in January 1915, and Annie Besant 1847–1933, head of the Theosophical Society of India, who on the 11th of April 1916 established the Home Rule League with autonomy for India as its goal. In December 1916, the Indian National Congress, at its annual session held at Lucknow, passed a resolution asking the king to issue a proclamation announcing that it is the aim and intention of British policy to confer self-government on India at an early date. On the 10th of April 1919, Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu, two popular proponents of the Satyagraha movement led by Gandhi, were called to the Deputy Commissioner's residence, arrested and sent off by car to Dharamsala, a hill town, now in Himachal Pradesh. This led to a general strike in Amritsar. Excited groups of citizens soon merged into a crowd of about 50,000 marching on to protest to the Deputy Commissioner against the arrest of the two leaders. The crowd, however, was stopped and fired upon near the railway footbridge. According to the official version, the number of those killed was 12, and of those wounded between 20 and 30. Evidence before an inquiry of the Indian National Congress put the number of the dead between 20 and 30. 3 days later, on the 13th of April, the traditional festival of Baisakhi, thousands of Sikhs, Muslims and Hindus gathered in the Jallianwala Bagh. An hour after the meeting began as scheduled at 16:30, Dyer arrived with a group of 65 Gurkha and 25 Baluchi soldiers. Without warning the crowd to disperse, Dyer blocked the main exits and ordered his troops to begin shooting toward the densest sections of the crowd. Firing continued for approximately 10 minutes. A British inquiry into the massacre placed the death toll at 379. The Indian National Congress determined that approximately 1,000 people were killed. Midoriya stared in curiosity as he get to learn the tragic history about massacre. As he is about to move to the next location with the rest of the tourists, he noticed what appeared to be a young Indian woman, and is badly hurt and bleeding. What's more, the passerby seemingly ignored her, due to her being in an impoverished attire, and he approached the woman, letting the rest of the tourists go ahead, and using a device made by Hatsume that allows him to communicate in different languages. Midoriya asked the woman what is wrong and who did this to her. The woman is in her teens and desperate for help. She told Midoriya that she is from the village of Mayapore, which he notes that it is located in northern India. There she told him that she escaped from her village after cult members attacked it, and through unknown means the men and the elderly in her village were turned into stone, kidnapped the women and children while searching for the village's secret treasure. Midoriya asked why didn't she contact the police for help, but she did not elaborate, other than claiming that the police cannot be trusted. The police can't be trusted. Huh? Why? Hang in there. Our village, largely ignored, the government, pay only attention to the rich. I'll get you to a hospital. And no, go help my village. Eh? Midoriya then saw something in her bag, where a palm-sized red gem fell off, and as he gave it to her, the woman tells him that this is the miracle stone, which the cult members are seeking, and begged him to protect the stone and save the village, which Midoriya appeared motivated to help. However, a dagger flew and struck the woman and pierced the back of her skull, killing her instantly and slumped to the ground, in which blood filled the area her dead body is in. Midoriya stared in shock, as this is the first time that a person died in front of him, and as he looked straight, he saw an Indian man brandishing another knife, and is ready to throw it at him in an attempt to silence any witnesses, and Midoriya is poised to use his shoot style, but then recalled that he is wearing his gauntlet, and uses the grappling hook to knock down the attacker, and succeeded in disarming him. There he approached the murderer, and demanded to know why he murdered an innocent girl, but the man grinned wickedly in response. You there? Why did you do that? Are you really a murderer? Answer me. Soon 3 more Indian men arrived and attacked Midoriya, causing the boy to unknowingly drop the gem, and the attackers are using knives to cut him. But he evaded them and used one for all 5%, knocking the 2 back while the 3rd man unleashed a bag and opened it, revealing that 3 cobras are set loose, and they seem to be targeting the boy. Left with no choice, as he cannot afford to let the cobras wreak havoc on the streets, Midoriya uses his other quirk, Black Whip, and takes out the cobras. And by the time he looked around, the men are gone. And as he approached the dead woman, he realized that the gem was gone and has been taken away, and he decided to call the police to report what happened. At the police station, Midoriya twitched his eyes as he is being interrogated by the police about the incident, and it is shown that he is being pressed as the suspect and are pressuring him to admit the crime. And yet Midoriya maintained his innocence and said to the police what really happened. Yet the police said there are no witnesses, and that his alibi doesn't stick. No way. No witnesses. You're the only one there. Too many dead bodies. But then that means you're the suspect. But I already told you. Just admit it, and everything will be fine. You got it all wrong. We got this right. You're the culprit. Admit it, and we can get down to business. The police chief came and asked his men how are things here. And the cops said that Midoriya refuses to admit his crimes, and suggested that he be charged for murder of an innocent woman and the several men, which the boy stated his rights and said that they have no proof that he did it, as well as telling them that he is the one who called the police in the first place. Moreover, Midoriya told the police chief that he is underage and hence he cannot be charged since he is currently 16 years old. And if the police chief insists on doing this, he would be violating the due process of the law. The police chief appeared to be smug and said that the law here in India is different, and they can charge anyone who the police believe violate the law, regardless of the suspect's age, and tells Midoriya that he is not exempted and hence he can still be charged no matter what. And there he tells his men to beat up the boy if necessary, which the corrupt cops are more than willing to oblige. Sure. No problem. My pleasure. If it can make him confess his crimes. We'll do it. We can get away with it. Haha. Time to get to work. As Midoriya realizes that he may have no choice but to fight off the inept cops, he faces the possibility of getting into conflict with the government of India. And as he is contemplating to use his quirk, the Black Whip, and the Gauntlet that houses the grappling hook, an unforeseen intervention took place, as a horde of poisonous cobras came inside the police station and surrounded the precinct. The police chief and his inept men were taken by surprise and are trembling in terror at the thought of being bitten by the cobras, and they asked the chief on what they should do. And the foolish police chief berated his men and ordered them to open fire on the cobras no matter what. You idiots, use your guns. Eh? But we will be wasting bullets. Can't we? Just open fire, you morons. Oh, okay. Sure. Just let me reload. As the inept cops drew their guns and shoots the cobras, their confidence were somewhat restored as they managed to kill half of them. But then more cobras entered the precinct and suddenly jumped on the foolish cops, biting them and injecting venom on their prey. The police chief was terrified as he watched his men screaming, as they were bitten as well as being overpowered. And there he is surrounded by the cobras, and he screamed at his men to help him. But his men slowly expired due to the venom, and soon he can hear the prisoners screaming as they too are being bitten by the cobras. H, help me. H, help. I don't want to die. I want women. I'm going to die. Goodbye, cruel world. Damn the boy. Damn the snake. Panicking, the police chief jumped through the window and ran off, leaving Midoriya alone, and the boy stared at his surroundings as he believed that someone is behind this, and assumed that an attacker is commanding the cobras, believing that the attacker has a quirk similar to Koda. And as the cobras are zeroing in on their prey, Midoriya activated the Black Whip and disabled the cobras, and he found a large container and places the unconscious snakes there. He then checked on the prisoners who were behind bars, and find out that they too have died, as they were also attacked by the cobras, and the teen boy clenched his fists as he failed to save lives. Yet he had to resist the urge to feel sorry for himself, and ran outside the precinct, where he saw the police chief laid dead, as 3 pairs of cobras are there, continuing to bite its prey despite him already dead. Midoriya then saw the culprit, another Indian man dressed like a cult member, holding a flute, and there the man played the tune, and the cobras turned their attention towards Midoriya and are poised to attack. But through careful observation, the UA student uses the gauntlet and aimed it at the flute, where the grappling hook is fired, and struck the flute, resulting in the object being shattered. And now the snakes are free from control. But ironically, they went for the man who controlled them and began biting him. The man screamed as he is being bitten all over his body, and Midoriya uses the Black Whip again and disables the cobras. And as he checked on the attacker, he slowly died from the venom. And there Midoriya looked around to see if there are any more attackers. But then a stranger suddenly showed up, and it was a village teen girl, and she tells Midoriya that the man who controls the cobras, and the ones who attacked Midoriya earlier, are members of a cult who worships the goddess Kali. She tells Midoriya to come with her, as she will provide him details on who the cult is and why he is being targeted. And though he seemed unwilling as he has to call for the police about the massacre, she tells him there is no time as the cult members might come and try to kill him again. There is no time. But the police cannot be trusted because they are too inept and lax. Time is of the essence, and you are the only one who can save my fellow villagers. Where are we going then? To Mayapore. My village that has been ravaged by the cult. Mayapore. The man screamed as he is being bitten all over his body. And Midoriya uses the black whip again and disables the cobras. And as he checked on the attacker, he slowly died from the venom. And there Midoriya looked around to see if there are any more attackers. But then a stranger suddenly showed up. And it was a village teen girl. And she tells Midoriya that the man who controls the cobras, and the ones who attacked Midoriya earlier, are members of a cult who worships the goddess Kali. She tells Midoriya to come with her, as she will provide him details on who the cult is, and why he is being targeted. And though he seemed unwilling as he has to call for the police about the massacre, she tells him there is no time as the cult members might come and try to kill him again. There is no time. But the police cannot be trusted, because they are too inept and lax. Time is of the essence, and you are the only one who can save my fellow villagers. Where are we going then? To Mayapore. My village that has been ravaged by the cult. Mayapore. Left with no choice, Midoriya went with the teen girl. As they leave the scene there, the village girl boarded a bicycle and Midoriya boarded behind her as the girl pedaled and leaves the police station in order to bring him to Mayapore, so as to show him the reason why she wanted his help, as well as to shed light on why the miracle stone was stolen. Several minutes later, soldiers passed by and are taken by surprise at the scene of the crime. And seeing the bite marks on the man, the policemen and the prisoners, they assume that wild snakes have come here and are looking for food. Thus they felt that this is not really a crime but an accident, as the soldiers are unaware that cult members did the murder and were killed by the cobras in the process. Damn. What a sight. So, do we treat this as a crime scene? No need. Just tell the press it's just an accident. Really? Yeah, snakes are animals, not criminals. You got a point. Right. The soldiers are also unaware that Midoriya was unintentionally involved due to being at the wrong place and at the wrong time. And thus they did not bother in checking anything else and went on to take the dead bodies to the nearest morgues. And given that there are no CCTV installed, the soldiers have no idea that the incident at the police station is really murder-driven, given that the cult members have a diabolical reason to target Midoriya in the first place. After some time, Midoriya arrived at the said village, where the girl showed him what has befallen it, where the elders and adults are turned into stone, while none of the children are left. And she revealed to Midoriya that she managed to hit herself, as the cult members uses some kind of black magic to turn the elders and the parents into stone, while the rest rounded up the children and took them away, where she overheard one of them saying that they are to be taken somewhere in Mayapore. Midoriya then asked why didn't she call the police for help, in which she said that the government appeared to be less interested, as they are worrying over their own image, and that they are indifferent towards the less privileged, and that no one would believe her if she were to tell them what has befallen her village. She gave Midoriya a picture of the miracle stone, and showed him the place where the stone was placed, and said that once the stone has been retrieved and placed there, its power will restore life in this village, and she begged Midoriya to help save her village and the kidnapped children. Please, I beg you. I have no one else to turn to. You may be our village's only hope. Well, okay, I'll help. Really? Yes, I'm a hero student. I'll help those who are in need. Thank you. Suddenly, a knife struck her on her throat, and she slowly died from bleeding, and as Midoriya looked around, he saw one of the cult members did it, and he is staring wickedly at him, as he threw a grenade and struck the dead girl, dismembering her into pieces, and Midoriya is angered by this, and said he will pay for that. But the man said nothing as he gives off a wicked vibe, as he took out another knife and is ready to throw, and finally said that no one will leave this place alive and live to tell the tale, for the cult of Fugees will resurrect the goddess Kali. Now you die. Why did you do that? Those who defy the cult must die. And you have to kill an innocent girl for that. No exceptions, even you. You'll pay for that. Now you die, and pay tribute to the goddess Kali. Damn you. Midoriya is about to give in to rage at what the cult member did, but recalling what happened to Ida when he confronted Hero Killer Stain several months ago, he managed to temper his actions and try to subdue the attacker, where he activated his quirk and went for shoot style. Jumping high and evading the knife throws, did a flying kick, hitting the cult member, and the villain was thrown back and collided against a tree, disabling him. There Midoriya disarms the attacker and demanded answers, asking where his cohorts are hiding, and where the children of this village are taken, in which the cult member remained defiant, saying that the children will never be brought back alive, for they will be sacrificed to reawaken the goddess Kali, which only made Midoriya pissed, saying that there are no such things like that, and it does not justify in abducting children and committing murder. What you're doing won't bring you anything. All of this are for the goddess Kali. So tell me where the children are taken. Never. It is the will of the goddess Kali. Don't waste my time. All for the goddess Kali. You're really ticking me off. All of these are for the goddess Kali. In spite of the tense atmosphere, Midoriya remained alert somehow, as he sensed that someone is sneaking behind him. And in the nick of time, he saw another attacker lunging forward, and he evaded it as the other attacker intended to stab the boy with a knife. But as Midoriya dodges, the attacker ended up stabbing his fellow cult member, and the cult member was stabbed on the forehead, penetrating his skull and died instantly. As the other attacker attempted to pull the knife out of the other attacker's head, Midoriya took the chance and executed the Detroit Smash, knocking the attacker down, and there he attempted to interrogate him in order to get some answers. And like the other attacker, this man is also defiant, reiterating that no one will survive the cult of thuggies alive and live to tell the tale. Midoriya gritted his teeth, seeing that they are not only fanatical, they are trained somewhat to utter the same doctrine over and over, and felt that he is getting nowhere in finding a lead that would take him straight to the cult's lair. But then an idea hit him and decided to try it out, until he saw a third attacker, armed with a semi-automatic gun, and opened fire, which Midoriya dodges, but killed the other attacker in the process. And as Midoriya hid behind a thick tree, the attacker kept on firing the gun, determined to shoot his target to death. And as he is approaching, Midoriya uses the full cowling to jump over the tree, and uses the left arm gauntlet and fired the grappling hook to hit the gunman on the head, momentarily knocking him out. And there Midoriya secretly placed a tracking device on his turban. As Midoriya hid at one of the village houses, the attacker woke up and looked around, seeing that Midoriya is nowhere to be seen, and there 2 more cult members arrived, where they said that they heard gunfire and asked what happened. There they were told about it and offered to search the houses in case the target is hiding there, and once found he will be killed on sight. But the other cult members said not to bother, as they are instructed to head back to the hideout. The 3 cult members then agreed that Midoriya won't be a threat given that he has fled, and that he do not have proof to prove that the cult of Thugis exists, as well as that the government of India would not pay attention to this impoverished village. Forget the boy. Yes, he is not a threat at the moment. He won't find our hideout. Very well. We must return. Yes, we have work to do. Indeed. All for the resurrection of the goddess Kali. Then let us go. We have work to do. And more for the goddess Kali. After that, the 3 attackers took their leave as they fled the village, not knowing that one of them had a tracking device attached to his turban, and did not bother double-checking the houses, as they believed that Midoriya fled the village in panic. They boarded a jeep and drive away, and once out of sight, Midoriya emerged from one of the village houses, and took out a device that Hatsume invented, where it turned out to be a tracer, where the LED screen shows where the tracking device is pointing the directions where the attacker went. And there Midoriya approached the corpse of the dead girl, apologizing to her for being unable to save her. He then dug a grave and buried the girl's body and offered prayers, and once it is done, he reluctantly took the bicycle and pedaled his way back to the hostel to safeguard the rest of his belongings. The hostel owner greeted Midoriya and asked how his tour went, and not wanting to attract suspicion, he pretended to say he enjoyed it. Really? Yeah, it was memorable. Good to hear. I'll be sure to come back here one day. Yes, and I'm sure you can invite others. Anyway, sir. Yes. To get some insight, Midoriya pretended to be curious and asked about this village, and the hostel owner reluctantly told Midoriya what he knows, and admitted that there is corruption within the political system of this country, and hence why the said village was impoverished, and that it did not gain media attention, as the corrupt politicians are more concerned about their image rather than the citizens. Midoriya clenched his fists, seeing that this is one country he has come to loathe, that the political leaders intentionally forsaken some of the citizens they are supposed to protect. And there Midoriya pretended to be more curious, and said he heard rumors about some sick people worshipping something about Kali, and the hostel owner covered the boy's mouth. He looked around, seeing that no one is around at the moment, and whispered to Midoriya, telling him in a concerned tone not to bring that topic up, stating that those who got the gist of that ended up dead, and the police would wash their hands and say it is the work of perverts. The hostel owner confessed that the sick people he mentioned just now are members of the cult of Thugis, and said that the group are so secretive that the politicians paid little attention to them, and advised Midoriya not to venture out alone and avoid strolling at night, saying that the cult members usually target children for abduction, but they might choose random person whom they believe would be of use to their cause. And that is that. So if you value your life and want to return to your country in one piece, do as I advise you to do. Believe me, I'm saving your life here. Is it that serious? Yes. I see. Midoriya nodded and apologized for making him worried. And the hostel owner nodded and told Midoriya to stick to his itinerary and travel with the group, stressing that he is also concerned about his customers, as he doesn't want to lose any that would keep his business floating. As he went to his rented room, Midoriya prepared his things, as he is now intent to find this hideout and rescue the abducted children and retrieve the miracle stone and bring it back to the village in order to undo the curse, as well as defeat the cult and expose them to the government of India so that the politicians would be forced to make a compromise so that they won't be disgraced. Midoriya then puts on his hero costume and then his trench coat, where he decided to head there right away. But then the hostel owner came barging in and told Midoriya to get out of here as cobras are invading the hostel. Hey, boy. You got to get out of here. Why? Cobras are invading this hostel. No way, could it be? Don't brood. Just go and save yourself. Midoriya stared wide-eyed at hearing this, and then screams can be heard, and the two went out of the room where other tourists are running and screaming, while others are on the floor as several cobras are biting their prey. And Midoriya was in disbelief, as he wondered if he has been tracked down. The hostel owner told Midoriya to make a run for it, but the US student asked the hostel owner what is he going to do at this time. But the hostel owner told Midoriya not to worry and urged him to run. Realizing that a cult member might be outside and controlling the cobras, Midoriya ran out of the hostel, and looking around, he saw one playing a flute, and he uses the gauntlet's grappling hook to hit the man and knocked him out. And as he went back inside the hostel, he saw the cobras stop attacking and passed out. Midoriya urges the hostel owner to call the police and notified him about the attacker outside. The hostel owner nodded as he picked the phone to call the police, and Midoriya went off as he boarded the bicycle and pedaled away, heading to the source of the signal, as the tracking is leading Midoriya towards the source where the cult's hideout is located. Many thanks to those who read and reviewed this fic. I really appreciated it, and this gave me inspiration to work on the next chapter. And here story continues to build up as Midoriya is now on his way to find the cult's lair, in order to rescue the kidnapped children after his encounter with the cult members who tried to kill him in the previous chapter. And now the adventure commences. Well then, read on and enjoy. Several minutes later, police arrived after getting a call from the owner of the hostel, in which the investigators are baffled as to how a big number of cobras made its way in this town, and who brought it here, as they do not believe that this is coincidental. And they question the hostel owner about how this happened, as the scene shows that several dead tourists are carried out, due to their deaths being caused by venom from the cobras. Unwilling to implicate Midoriya since the boy is innocent of any wrongdoing, the hostel owner pointed out at the tied-up cult member, stating that he is the one who uses the flute to control the cobras to attack the hostel and cause this carnage. The lead investigator then confronted the cult member and asked what is the reason for attacking the hostel and for using the cobras to attack the tourists. The cult member only glared silently in response, and the investigator is getting impatient as he could not afford to let the media see this, as this would put pressure on his precinct that they were too late to respond. And he began to shook the cult member while demanding answers from him. I'm asking you, what's your reason for doing this? Are you listening? Answer me, damn you. Do you hear what I'm saying? Suddenly, the cult member laughed maniacally, which the investigator are baffled by this, and the other Indian cops approached their superior and said that they might as well arrest him given that the hostel is the one who pointed that the cult member is behind the assault of the cobras, and suggested to their lead investigator that he tell the press that the cult member is just a crazy idiot who foolishly played a flute that resulted in summoning the cobras. The lead investigator nodded, seeing that this would be a logical choice in order to avoid getting grilled by the press and the public, and figured that using the captured cult member would make a good scapegoat, and instructed his men to stick to the alibi he would make, which his men readily accepted as they wanted to avoid answering any difficult questions. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Got it, sir. Anything you say, sir. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Got it, sir. Anything you say, sir. However, the cult member began to laugh maniacally, and the cops wondered what is going on. But when one of the cops inspected the captured cult member, he discovered that there is a bomb attached to his belt, and he told the others about it, which caused the cops to panic, and they began to scramble away. But it was too late, as the cult member exploded, which claimed the lives of the cops, along with the hostel owner, which leaves nothing left other than dismembered body parts of the victims. Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Yuuka. Anata dake nai adacute imedimo zudo. Aim no hai nai wa omodasu negai hitatsu dake. Anata no mune nai wasarita. Watashi no kakara. Matasoko nai eru. Tajita hano naka nemetaru. Omoi te iu na no Pandora no hauski. Toiki shinabasada tamarate. Itsumadimo maitita. Cake ochida watashi, no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no katachi nai kawarata kutsu. Mune wo matasu no wa anata dake. Itsumadimo mataru. Here in the rain. Ch. 7. Karuto no Kakurega. At Heights Alliance, most of Class 1A are watching TV, which one of the students switched the channel to find a movie like HBO and Fox Movie Channel, and Minta took the remote to find a porn channel, which Ida berated his classmate for the foolishness, as he reminded him that there are girls here, and that he should behave properly, though Minta seemingly ignored Ida as he said that he could not help it as his little Minta is dictating his actions. Minta-kun. Huh. Stop this at once. What for? Switch the channel. Watching porn is a criminal act. Ha. My little Minta is a criminal act itself. Minta-kun. Ha ha. However, Kyoka uses her quirk and gave Minta an audio jolt, and he is subdued. And there the other girls thanked Kyoka for stopping Minta, as his pervertedness would have ruined the mood within the living room area and caused them to get turned off. Thanks, Kyoka-chan. Yeah, thanks, Gyro. Gosh, what a despicable guy. He sure has no shame. What a maniac. Thank goodness Gyro-san is here. That guy pisses me off. Quick, someone switch the channel. As Kirishima switched the channel, the class came across the BBC channel, where the incident at India is reported. And there Uraraka recalled getting an email from Midoriya hours ago about the itinerary he is using, and realized that the area at India is where Midoriya is currently at. And this made most of the class worried, and their Ida suggested that they try contacting their classmate to check on him in case he is okay. Yaoyorozu then suggested that she would use her quirk to create a device that would allow her to contact Midoriya through his smartphone, even though he is at overseas, which Ida nodded and tells her to do it, so that they can contact Midoriya and confirm his safety. Can you do that, Yaoyorozu-san? Yes, Ida-san. Then do it. We need to contact Midoriya-kun and check if he is okay. Okay, give me a minute. Good. Yaoyorozu-san. Almost there. Nodding, Yaoyorozu uses her quirk to create a device that would enable her to contact Midoriya via smartphone despite him being in another country. And there they attempted to contact their classmate. But for some reason he could not be reached as the signal appeared to be jammed, or apparently Midoriya's smartphone is off. This did not sit well with Class 1A as they now have no means of trying to reach out their classmate to know if he is okay or if something bad happened to him. And now the others are slowly panicking, like Uraraka and Minta. But Ida assured to the two that Midoriya is probably okay, and maybe he is either asleep or his smartphone ran out of battery. Calm down, everyone. I'm sure that Midoriya-kun is okay. Eh? But he's not answering. What if something? We got to know what happened. Midoriya might be in trouble. Deku. Todoroki then suggested that they inform Aizawa-sensei about this, so that he would contact the Indian embassy, and in turn they will contact the Japanese embassy in India to check on Midoriya, and see if he is okay, which Ida accepted it, and tells the others to keep watching the news, as he will talk to Aizawa-sensei, and ask him to contact the Indian embassy, so that they will contact the Japanese ambassador to check on Midoriya, which the others nodded. Okay? Sure. That's the best course of action. They better do it. Deku. Calm down, Ochanko-chan. What is Midoriya doing now? He'll be okay, right? X. Meanwhile, the scene shifts somewhere in India, where Midoriya is slowly approaching a mountain-like area, as the tracking device lead him here, and he stealthily approached the area as he anticipates that there could be guards there given how the attacker ambushed him, and how ruthless they are, as they have no qualms in attacking, even innocent people just to kill him on the spot. The policemen inside the police station, the tourists inside the hostel, and even the village girl were not spared, and he came to believe that the so-called cult do exist given the encounter with the cult members who assaulted him with reckless abandon. He checked his smartphone to see if he got any calls, and to his surprise, there is no signal, and sensed that this area may not have any cell site towers that enable signals to reach any mobile devices. And this may explain why none of his attackers have any form of communication devices, and thus they seem to attack in any way possible. Guess that makes sense. As he checked the area, he sees that there are no guards around, and the place looked deserted on the outside. And Midoriya decided to take the chance to infiltrate the area and find a way in, as he believed that there may be a secret passage of sorts as he checked on the device he is carrying, which the tracking signal is shown pointing to a certain direction. The Stage 1 BGM of Arumana, no Kaisuke plays. Midoriya followed where the signal is taking him, as he walked towards the mountain-like area, where to his surprise, there are several cave-like entrances. And yet the signal did not lead him there as he followed the direction that the device is leading him, as he felt that he is heading to the right direction, as he went to some curves before heading straight. Midoriya then stopped as he saw several cobras appeared from several areas and are heading towards his direction. And the vacationing UA High student sensed that the cult members may have anticipated his arrival, and now he is being ambushed. He recalled earlier that the cobra attacks are caused by someone who is playing the flute to control the cobras, and he uses his quirk to activate the black whip, and uses it to whip and disable the cobras. And once the snakes are taken out, he proceeded, and after a few minutes another set of cobras appeared. where Midoriya uses the black whip to take out more of the snakes. And as he walked further, he could hear the sounds of the flute being played, and after hiding a bit, he finally saw a man with a turban playing the flute. Deciding to take action before more cobras are summoned, he aimed carefully before using his left-handed gauntlet, and uses the grappling hook, firing away and hits the cult member point blank on the jaw, knocking him out and drop the flute, which Midoriya smashes it to prevent anyone from using it. Checking on the device, he learned that he is nearing the entrance. As he began climbing the mountain-like area, it took some minutes before finally set foot on a road, and walked the narrow path before entering the entrance. And after several seconds, he got in, where to his surprise, the first area inside the mountain shows that it was another open place, where several cave-like entrances are displayed. And now he'll have to rely on the tracking device to get to the right direction, and not get lost. Geez, it's like a labyrinth. As he followed the signal, he carefully traversed the area and looked around, making sure he would not carelessly run into trouble. But then fate has plans for the teen boy, as several cult members showed up. Armed with guns and blades, they began to attack their target, which they proclaim that no one will leave alive, and expose the cult of Thuggies to the world. Midoriya stared in surprise at seeing the vast numbers of the attackers, as they begin their attack, while praising the cult's name in praise, not caring if the gunfire hits their fellow cult members, as if they were programmed to take out their target, no matter what. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya dodges the hail of gunfire as he seeks cover, and once he finds an opening, he activated his quirk and uses shoot-style full cowling to move fast, evading the bullets, and uses the black whip to grab and throttle the gunmen at each other, while using flying kicks to disable and knock out the gunmen, leaving a few left to continue the attack. The remaining gunmen did not seem to mind it as they kept on firing, while proclaiming that the goddess Kali will be revived, and that those infidels who dare try to stop her will suffer a blasphemous death for showing utter disrespect to their goddess. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya kept on dodging the hail of gunfire, and got close to the gunmen, and did a series of flying kick attacks, which steadily decreases the obstacles, and the remaining cult members resorted to using bladed weapons like knives, swords, and the like, charging towards their lone target, as if they are programmed to kill him whatever it takes. Seeing that the cult members are approaching from both sides, Midoriya uses the black whip and the grappling hook of his gauntlet to disable the approaching attackers. Then he backed away to get room, and then attack again before resorting to use full cowling to jump upwards, and then uses the black whip to whip the attackers until they are knocked out. However, the cult members are defiant to the end, not caring if their numbers decreases, as they proclaimed that the infidels will pay dearly with their life, as the goddess Kali will be resurrected, and will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. At the Indian embassy, Shota Aizawa paid a visit and spoke to the ambassador, informing him of the incident where the hostel that Midoriya is staying was attacked, and that Midoriya could not be contacted, which the pro-hero U.A. High Teacher said that he is worried as the area where the hostel was assaulted by cobras is among the areas that Midoriya visited. The Indian ambassador assured to Aizawa that everything is all right, and that he will update him on the latest happenings at India, and that he will let Aizawa know that Midoriya is in good hands, which the pro-hero doesn't look assured, noting that the Indian ambassador appeared to be dodging the subject and wanted to end the discussion ASAP. Rest assured, Mr. Eraserhead, we will do all we can. Why does your tone sound not reassuring? I think you're mistaken, sir. Can you do it? Why, yes, of course. Please, one of our students is alone there, and my other students saw the news last night. Don't worry, we will get to the bottom of this. Suddenly, Aizawa's cell phone rang, and he answered it, where the caller turned out to be Hisashi Yamada, aka Present Mike, and their Present Mike told Aizawa that he is watching BBC Channel Live, where he told Aizawa to use his second smartphone and switch to the channel, which Aizawa did, and it featured a live update from India, where the hostel is being shown, where several dead bodies are being carried from the hostel, and one of the investigators found Midoriya's personal ID, and there Aizawa showed it to the Indian ambassador, who appeared to be a bit flustered. Aizawa spoke to the ambassador in a deadpan tone and asked if India is really a safe place, and pointed out to the live footage where most of the victims from the Cobra attacks are foreigners. and he told the ambassador that if Midoriya is either missing or abducted by the attackers, he will file a diplomatic protest, which the ambassador assured that he will do all he can to ensure Midoriya's safety. Rest assured, Mr. Eraserhead. We will do all we can. Why does your tone sound not reassuring? It sounds like you're not interested. I think you're mistaken, sir. We are concerned as well. Can you do it? Why, yes, of course. Please, one of our students is alone there, and my other students saw the news last night. Don't worry, we will get to the bottom of this. You better. Because if anything happens to Midoriya, Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Yuuka. Anata dake nai adacute imidimo zudo. Aim no hai nai wa omadasu negai hitatsu dake. Anata no myun nai wasarita. Watashi no kakura. Mata soko nai aru. Tajita hano naka nemitaru. Omoi te eu na no Pandora no hauski. Toiki shinobasata tamarade. Itsumidimo maitita. Cake ochida watashi, no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no katachi nai kawarta kutsu. Myun wo matasu no wa anata dake. Itsumidimo manaru. Here in the rain. Ch. 7. Shikai no heibai. The scene shifts at the cult's lair, where you can see Midoriya is having a rather busy, but tension-filled moment, as he is carefully avoiding getting hit by a volley of gunfire from the cult members of the Cult of Thuggies, which continue to fire their weapons at their sole target. And surprisingly, none of the cult members showed any signs of agitation over the fact that Midoriya kept on evading the gunfire due to him using shoot style. In fact, the cult members appeared to act like puppets, as they are programmed to show their superiority and their loyalty to the cult's cause, shown that they repeatedly chanted the cult's cause, and stating that those who resist the cult will meet a swift and painful death. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. As the minutes passed, the attack intensifies. And Midoriya realized that he cannot afford to waste time, as he kept on dodging the hail of gunfire, and got close to the gunmen, and did a series of flying kick attacks, which steadily decreases the obstacles, and the remaining cult members resorted to using bladed weapons like knives, swords, and the like, charging towards their lone target, as if they are programmed to kill him whatever it takes. Seeing that the cult members are approaching from both sides, Midoriya uses the black whip and the grappling hook of his gauntlet to disable the approaching attackers. Then he backed away to get room, and then attack again before resorting to use full cowling to jump upwards, and then uses the black whip to whip the attackers until they are knocked out. However, the cult members are defiant to the end, not caring if their numbers decreases, as they proclaimed that the infidels will pay dearly with their life, as the goddess Kali will be resurrected, and will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya sighed at seeing that the cult members do not seemingly have any souls, as if they are acting like mere machines as they keep on attacking, even though their numbers steadily decreases, yet they keep on attacking. And there he decided to get a bit aggressive and managed to get close and delivered the attacks, even though this would put him in danger. His effort, however, paid off, as he managed to knock the cult members out until no one is left standing. And Midoriya sighed as he made sure that the attackers are out cold, so that he would not worry about getting caught in a sneak attack, and proceeded to go ahead as he followed the tracker's signal, which leads him towards another cave entrance. And he is now sure on where to go, and hoped that there won't be another barricade of attackers waiting for him ahead. However, he noticed that there are other cave entrances on the upper sides, and wondered if they are alternate paths or are mere decoys, as he is unsure on whether to explore them or not, as he is relying on the tracker's signal. But then several cult members came out jumping, and they are armed with bladed weapons, and they appeared to be in a state of trance, as all are staring at him like they are seeing things, while chanting the same words the other defeated cult members said earlier. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya stared wide-eyed, seeing that he may have walked right into an ambush site, as there are about 15 men dressed like Indian druids, and they are acting like marionettes as they jump down from a great height, and even after injuring themselves they kept on getting up, not minding the pain their bodies displayed. And Midoriya asked them if they are really acting like that, or are plain overzealous. Are you people that reckless? Are you putting yourselves in peril, just for what you said just now? However, the attackers seemingly hear nothing as they are staring at their target, as if they do not seem to care about anything else other than chanting the same programmed words over and over, which made it clear that they were indoctrinated by the cult into serving them, and thus they are brainwashed into serving them, and nothing more. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya became pissed at seeing what his attackers have become, and is forced to use his Black Whip quirk and the grappling hook gauntlet to take down the already injured attackers. And soon only a handful are left, and yet they are defiant to the end. And their Midoriya tried to reach out to them, telling them that they are merely being used, and that there is nothing religious about what they are doing, telling them that kidnapping children is not the way of their faith. However, the cult members heard nothing as they are still in their brainwashed state, and kept on repeating the same lines over and over, showing that negotiating with them is useless, as they are somewhat beyond reaching them diplomatically due to the teachings they received. And they chant the same words again and again. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Then, more cult members came out from the upper cave entrances, and Midoriya stared wide-eyed as he saw them wielding grenades and removed the safety pins, and are ready to throw them down. And he realized that the men are intending to sacrifice their fellow men just to kill him. And he is forced to use the shoot style to jump away, which he managed to get to a safe distance as the grenades landed and exploded. Midoriya got to a safe distance, and is not caught by the explosion and shrapnel. But the indoctrinated cult member were unfortunate, as they are caught by the blast, and screamed out before getting killed and maimed, as they have no idea that they were disposable from the very start due to them being brainwashed into serving the cult. Midoriya seethed at seeing the expendable men screaming in pain as they are being wasted away. Awati. Gigi Jaya. Ag. Dabwa. Gigi Jaya. Alo. Dabwa. Seeing that there is nothing he can do at this point, Midoriya had to take an alternative route in order to outwit his attackers, as the cult members scrambled to find their target and looked everywhere, and searched the grounds to find him, which stalled them to a point which allowed Midoriya to get a head start and went around. Minutes later, Midoriya is navigating his way around until he came across a tunnel exit, and when he went there, he finds himself on the side of the mountain, and below is a raging river, and the 16-year-old boy wondered if he should go back and find another way to get back on track, aware that the risk of re-encountering the pursuing cult members should he go back to the original route he took earlier. However, several cult members showed up, and are armed with RPG, which Midoriya realized that the men are foolish, as the tunnel is too narrow and one misfire would cause the tunnel to cave in, and told the men what they are about to do. Even though it was useless, Midoriya's compassion still won out and attempted to reason with them. However, the men are just like the others, indoctrinated and stripped of free will, as they were programmed to serve the cult and kill anything in their path, just to kill their designated target, much to Midoriya's dismay. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Seeing that the druids are not holding back, Midoriya activated the full cowling shoot style, and ran and jumped as fast as he could. As the indoctrinated druids fired the RPG, its shells hit the ground and the walls, causing a cave-in, as the ceiling collapses and buried the druids alive, killing him while Midoriya kept on running and jumping as the cave entrance is caving in. And seeing an exit, he went towards it, and upon jumping, he realized that it was an exit that led to a raging river, and he also found out that the height is quite great, and jumping onto the waters appeared to be his only choice. Oh damn. As Midoriya jumped downward, he saw a wooden raft parked nearby, and he opted to jump towards it and managed to cushion his fall, and upon landing, he untied the raft and began to pedal the raft as he navigates it around, and kept his eyes open to see if there are any druids lurking by, as he realized that he would have to start over again and look for an alternative entrance to get inside the mountain and find the cult's lair. After a few minutes, he noticed what appeared to be an entrance, and decided to take the chance and pedaled the raft and went inside the entrance, which appeared to be a cave entrance, and upon entering, he saw it was a dead end, but noticed another cave entrance in front of him. Midoriya sighed as he now felt that he can get in, and is ready to head there when he sensed that something is amiss, as he noticed that the area is too quiet, and wondered if there are any attackers waiting nearby. The Stage 1 boss battle BGM of Arumana, no Kaisuke plays. Suddenly the waters began to spurt bubbles and Midoriya sensed that he may have ran into a trap, And as he braces himself, something emerged from the waters, and he stared wide-eyed at what he just saw, which appeared to be a sea serpent that has a head of a dragon. It was as large as a 2-story house and spits out fireballs, and Midoriya had to pedal the wooden raft to evade the attack. The sea serpent also exhibits spinning energy orbs that seem to act as spinning barriers, and as Midoriya pedals the raft, it came in contact with the spinning spheres, which caused part of the raft to catch fire, and the beast roared, while Midoriya became a bit terrified at the situation he is in. Roar! Whoa! Roar! Blast! How did I end up like this? Roar! This is worse than facing a Namu. Roar! What will I do now? After a few minutes pedaling the raft onto the waters, he sighed in relief that no one is seen chasing after him, and their Midoriya decided to use this chance to find a way to get back inside the cult's lair. But then he noticed something, which somewhat drew his curiosity. Huh? That place. Midoriya saw what appeared to be an entrance, and decided to take the chance and pedaled the raft and went inside the entrance, which appeared to be a cave entrance, and upon entering, he saw it was a dead end, but noticed another cave entrance in front of him. Midoriya sighed as he now felt that he can get in, and is ready to head there when he sensed that something is amiss, as he noticed that the area is too quiet, and wondered if there are any attackers waiting nearby. The Stage 1 boss battle BGM of Arumana, no Kiseki plays. Suddenly the waters began to spurt bubbles, and Midoriya sensed that he may have ran into a trap. And as he braces himself, something emerged from the waters, and he stared wide-eyed at what he just saw, which appeared to be a sea serpent that has a head of a dragon. It was as large as a 2-story house and spits out fireballs, and Midoriya had to pedal the wooden raft to evade the attack. The sea serpent also exhibits spinning energy orbs that seem to act as spinning barriers, and as Midoriya pedals the raft, it came in contact with the spinning spheres, which caused part of the raft to catch fire, and the beast roared, while Midoriya became a bit terrified at the situation he is in. Roar! Whoa! Roar! Blast! How did I end up like this? Roar! This is worse than facing a Namu. Roar! What will I do now? As Midoriya braces himself, he caught something that made him become defensive, as the sea serpent shoots something from its mouth, which appeared to be a fireball, and Midoriya instinctively uses the gauntlet's grappling hook to fire, and the metallic wiring fired, and its hooked claw hits the upper wall and pulled him upwards. It was a fortunate move, as Midoriya narrowly evaded the huge fireball, which proceeded to hit and destroy the raft, turning it into a burning furnace as it sinks into the waters. Thus Midoriya has no leverage to stay on the waters, and now the sea serpent roared as it is ready to mount another attack. Midoriya is now in a pinch, as he has to think of a way to knock the creature out before he gets burned to death by incineration, if he gets hit by the creature's fireball attacks, as it roared louder to commence its next attack. Roar! Whoa! Roar! Damn, it's huge! Roar! Wah! What power! Roar! Just my luck. How will I deal with something that huge? Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Yuuka. Anada dake nai atakute imidimo zudo. Aim no hai nai wa omadasu negai hitatsu dake. Anada no mun nai wasareta. Watashi no kakura. Mata soko nai aru. Tajita hano naka nemitaru. Omoi to iu na no Pandora no hauski. Toiki shinabasada tamarade. Itsumadimo maitita. Cake ochita watashi no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no katachi nai kawara kutsu. Mun wo matasu no wa anada dake. Itsumadimo mataru. Here in the rain. Ch. 8. Kakirega o Noboru. Uahai. Shoto Aizawa arrived, as he is greeted by Present Mike and Midnight, and the two Teachers Pro heroes noticed Aizawa's rather looking dismayed facial appearance, and they guessed that his trip to the Indian embassy did not go well. And yet they are curious as to know how things went, since Izuku Midoriya is the reason why Aizawa visited the embassy. Midnight calmly asked Aizawa what happened, and how the Indian ambassador responded to Aizawa's queries, which Aizawa stared at her in a deadpan manner, and said that this will not be as easy as he hoped, and said that Nezu will have to be involved, signifying that his discussion with the Indian ambassador did not go well. Midnight and Present Mike stared at each other, and then stared at Aizawa, and asked him what went on there, and what made him say that Nezu would have to be personally involved in this matter, since Midoriya is at India, and that the Indian government has the obligation to ensure that Midoriya is safe and sound. Principal Nezu? I take it your walk in the talk with the ambassador went like chalk. Aizawa-sensei, what happened? Did the ambassador give a thumbs down or something? Present Mike. What? Stop spouting those rap-like nonsense. HMPH. Aizawa revealed that the Indian ambassador appeared to be less inclined to get himself involved in the matter after the class 1 homeroom teacher showed the ambassador the footage of the news where the hostel was assaulted by venomous cobras, and the aftermath scene where the culprit blew himself up and killed the police officers on the scene. Aizawa also said that the ambassador is trying to end the conversation by assuring to him that Midoriya is safe, and that he will contact the authorities at India to do a welfare check, and said that he will contact Ua High once Midoriya is found. As the two Ua High teachers stared at Aizawa, the class 1 homeroom teacher then told them that after this, security guards came and politely escorted him out of the embassy, and their present Mike realized that the Indian ambassador is one hell of an ingrate, while Midnight noted that the ambassador appeared to be a useless official, as he seemingly wanted nothing to do with Midoriya's case. Seriously? Just like that? That ambassador is an ingrate. For once I agree, present Mike. What's the deal with that idiot? Yeah, why did he decide to boot you out of the embassy? Maybe we should file a diplomatic protest. So Principal Nezu is our last resort, huh? Really? Aizawa nodded and said this is why he is heading to Nezu's office and inform him of what is happening. And there he asked Midnight to try explaining everything to Class 1A so that they won't be in a panic state should word got out that Midoriya went missing and that the Indian authorities are not doing anything about it. Midnight nodded and said she will talk to Class 1A, and present Mike offered to help Midnight in calming Class 1A down, which she smiled and said she appreciated. Sure, you can help. Really? Yeah, your mic skills might come in handy. Yes. So, shall we? You bet. Let's go. Right behind you. After that, the three pro-Hiroshima teachers went inside Ua High as they are heading to their respective destinations to commence their act to respond on a possible crisis. Aizawa hoped that Nezu would come up with a way to use his connections to try persuading the Indian ambassador to provide valid information on what went on there at India, while Midnight and present Mike head to Heights Alliance to talk to Class 1A about the situation at hand. Back at the cult's lair, Midoriya activated the one-for-all quirk to use the full cowling to jump around to avoid the fireballs, and while he managed to evade them, the spinning sphere-like objects that are circling around the sea serpent showed that they are not mere show, as each hit from those things caused deep lacerations on his body, and he fell down and almost hit the waters. But he uses the Gauntlet's grappling hook to take him to the upper wall again. Fighting off the pain, Midoriya thought carefully, as he cannot afford to get hit again. But he is having trouble focusing as the sea serpent spits out more fireballs, but narrowly missed its target. And Midoriya had to think fast as he cannot keep this up for long, as he is lacking means of getting leverage, while the creature roared aloud. Roar. Damn. Roar. I got to do something. Roar. Can't keep this up for long. Roar. Come on, think. Midoriya stared at the sea serpent as it roared louder and louder, and staring at the eyes of the creature, he suddenly came up with an idea as he activates the full cowling and propelled himself towards the creature. And as he is halfway through, he uses the Gauntlet's grappling hook to propel him upward, and at the same time, he activated his quirk, the Black Whip, and struck the creature on its eyes with full force. The action produced some positive result, as the creature was bleeding from the eyes and is now blinded, and the sea serpent roared in pain as his head shook left and right, and cannot see its target. And as the creature roared in pain and confusion, Midoriya came up with another tactic and hoped that it would be enough to put the creature out of its misery. Roar. Okay. Roar. Got to time this right. Roar. I got one shot at this. Roar. It's now or never. As he is timing the sequence of the spinning spheres that are circling around the creature, Midoriya waited for the right timing, and once he found the timing, he uses the full cowling to propel himself towards the giant sea serpent, and once close, he uses the Delaware Smash and struck the giant sea serpent on the cranium with full force. The impact is strong, and the giant creature slowly sinks to the waters as it slowly died from the massive head injury. And Midoriya uses the Gauntlet to propel him towards a lower cliff that houses an alternative entrance. Once he arrived there, he rests momentarily, but noticed that his right arm, right chest area, and right side of his rib area are bleeding. And he opened his backpack to bring out his first aid kit, and removes his upper clothes so that he can apply ointment and alcohol to cleanse the wounds before bandaging them. After that, he puts his clothes back on and proceeded to walk the tunnel as he checked the tracker, where he finds that the signal showed that there is a nearby pathway that would lead him back to the cult's main lair. And he proceeded to walk there while making sure that there are no obstacles in his path. The Stage 2 BGM of Arumana, no Kiseki plays. After several minutes of walking, Midoriya found a path that leads him towards the area where it would lead him to the cult's main pathway. And while walking, he saw a cave entrance and peered closer, and saw about 4 of the thuggy cult members preparing their meal, consisting of fried chicken and rice, along with a 1-liter bottle of Sprite. This made Midoriya to get tempted as the scent of the newly cooked food attracted him. And though he intended to ignore it and sneak his way past the guards, he decided to disable them first to prevent them from alerting the others. And as he sneaked his way inside the cave, he accidentally kicked a pebble, and the sound alerted the thuggy cult members, and saw Midoriya. The cult members, wearing only a turban, pants and boots, took out their bolo knives and are ready to attack. And as expected, they are brainwashed as they chanted the same monotone that the other cult members say over and over, which made Midoriya cringe seeing that H is about to fight off another group of mind-controlled puppets. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya then activated the Black Whip quirk and uses it to bind the cult members in one go, and are disarmed in the process. But to his dismay, even when captured and subdued, the cult members kept on chanting the same monotone over and over, which made Midoriya feel sick as he could not fathom hearing them say the same tone over and over. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya then uses a restrained portion of the one for all Delaware smash and punched them on their jaws, which knocked them out cold, and he procured some ropes and tied them up. There he is ready to leave, but seeing the food on the table, Midoriya gives in as he began chomping on the food and rice, as if he is hungry to the max. This is because he was quite wounded and needed something to stabilize his stamina. Hence he is forced to pilfer the enemy's food, and while he felt a bit guilty at doing this, it cannot be helped as he needed a source of energy and hence, he went all out, consuming the food until nothing is left. He then drank the bottle of Sprite, and he is full. After that, Midoriya left the cave and proceeded to head off to where the signal takes him, where minutes later he is on the side of the mountain area and realized that he has to climb up due to the lack of any alternative entrances. And there he activated the Gauntlet, and the grappling hook propels him upward, and there he hoped that he won't encounter any cult members for the time being. At the cult's mountain-like area, the scene shows that the hideout is like a huge labyrinth, as there are so many cave entrances and pathways, designed to confuse intruders, and sets it up as a perfect way to conduct an ambush and surprise attacks to ensure total victory over threats and other forms of possible invasion. The scene further zoomed forward where you can see several children are being held captive. Some are being used for slave labor like mining minerals and rocks, and you can see the captors whipping the captive children if they hesitate, as some of the captive children are in poor health. Yet the captors do not care and continue to whip them just to get them to keep working. Get up. Do not stall. Work. No rest. Do it now, or you'll suffer worse. Keep working. Take that. After some minutes, 5 of the captive children perished, and the captors ordered the henchmen to dispose of the bodies by having them thrown at a vat of molten steel, where the bodies of the dead children are melted away and thus cannot be retrieved. There the captors threaten the captive children that they'll meet the same fate if they disobey their captors, and the frightened children resumed their labor despite their gradual failing health. And to make an example, they grabbed 2 more children and threw them onto the vat, where they screamed in pain before eventually died and burnt and melted, and the other children cried in fear. There the captors shouted the same chants that they have been indoctrinated, which shows that they too were brainwashed into serving the cult of Kali. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Not far, the leader of the cult is seen over the upper balcony area of the hideout, watching malevolently at seeing the children abused and tormented, as he is pleased that he has enough slave labor to do the work for him. And now he is instructing some of his henchmen to procure more children from neglected villages to serve as more slave labor. The evil leader, identified only as the Grand Vizier, is watching gleefully when another henchman came and whispered to the Grand Vizier that Midoriya has defeated the giant sea serpent. And the malevolent cult leader noted that the henchman expressed concern that the UA student might make his way here, and the henchman suggested that they use mystical means to kill the boy. The Vizier appeared to be unfazed and assured that Midoriya will not pose a threat, as he already assigned one of his trusted warriors to deal with Midoriya, and assured that by this time, the plans will be accomplished without delay. Are you sure, oh great one? Yes. Do not be concerned. That Asian boy will be dead by then. But he just defeated the sea serpent that you created. 'Tis just the first obstacle. We have 5 more to go. That Asian brat will not have the strength to make another step. That I assure you. I see. Therefore, there is no need for you to be worried. For Kali will provide. As you wish. Haha. The henchman nodded, and there the Vizier stared at the rest of his henchmen, and made a rather impressive speech, assuring that the time will come where the goddess Kali will return, and a new dawn of the new age will reign not only India, but also the rest of the world. The henchmen roared in acknowledgement, and began chanting the words that were indoctrinated in their minds, showing that they are loyal to the Grand Vizier, and will obey his will no matter what. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Yuuka. Anata dake nai atakute imadimo zudo. Aim no hai nai wa omadasu negai hitatsu dake. Anata no myun nai wasarita. Watashi no kakura. Mata soko nai aru. Tajita hano naka nemataru. Omoid to iu na no Pandora no houski. Toiki shinabasada tamarate. Itsumadimo maitita. Cake ochita watashi, no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no katachi nai kawarta kutsu. Myun wo matasu no wa anata dake. Itsumadimo mataru. Here in the rain. Ch. 10. Yoa Tagapesh. At the Japanese embassy somewhere within India. The Japanese ambassador is seen looking both annoyed and dismayed as the Indian ambassador is pleading to him to go find a tourist named Izuku Midoriya, reasoning that he is being pressured by the teachers of UA High into finding him or else he would get investigated for possible negligence, and the Japanese ambassador told his Indian counterpart to play cool and keep telling the UA school officials that the Indian authorities are getting to work, so as to assure the idiots at UA that everything is under control. Just do as I tell you, and everything will be smooth. But, there is no need for you to panic. I do have a reason. The one who is long-haired, wearing white cloths and dressed in black robes is threatening me. Then press charges against him. End of the problem. But Mr. Ambassador, this long-haired person is just a mean-looking idiot. He can't lay a finger on you. But the Indian ambassador nodded, but said that he is worried that the scary-looking UA teacher is poised to eat him alive if he doesn't get the result he desired, and explained the description, which the Japanese ambassador realized that it was Shoto Aizawa who spoke to the Indian ambassador, which made the Japanese ambassador look more annoyed than necessary. He then told his Indian counterpart not to worry and advises him that if Yua tried to pester him once more, all he has to do is say, "We are doing our best efforts, so please call again after some time," which the Indian ambassador nodded and said he will do that. So, are we clear? Why, yes. Just do as instructed, and everything will be okay. Why, yes. That's all you will do if Yua tries to pester you again. Why, yes. Good. I'm off. Why, yes. After that, the Indian ambassador left, and the Japanese ambassador sighed in annoyance, wondering why Midoriya chose to come here at India, and wished that the UA student gets kicked out of that country, blaming the boy for giving him headaches, as it is shown that the Japanese ambassador is really lazy and is only competent if needed, as he is only after the salary he is given. And rather than asking the police to conduct a search, he began to indulge himself in surfing the Indian website that features a lot of pornographic contents, as he has a thing for such activities. X. Heights Alliance. The scene shows that Present Mike and Midnight are talking to the members of Class 1 about the situation, and the two teachers can see that the students save for Bakugo and Takoyami are concerned, and they began inquiring if the Japanese embassy at India is on the case, as they told the two teachers about what they saw at the international news. Present Mike then did his usual thing in talking to the students, though this did little to calm them down, and told him that his way of speaking only causes more anxiety than calming them down. Present Mike Sensei. You're not helping matters. We're really worried. Midoriya could be hurt, and we don't know where he is. The news is fresh on our mind. Poor Deku. Kiro, calm down, Ochako. Midnight steps in and assured to the students that Aizawa is talking to Principal Nezu about this, and said that the principal will get to it and see if they could send a pro-hero to India to check on Midoriya, saying that once the principal is informed of the situation, he will monitor things and see what comes out of it before making his next move. Her comments somewhat alleviate the worries, and there the students told Present Mike that Midnight did a better job in calming them down than he did, much to Present Mike's dismay. Present Mike Sensei. See that? Midnight Sensei is doing a better job than you. You're not helping matters. You know how we're really worried. Our friend is missing at India. Midoriya could be hurt. We don't know where to start. At least Midnight Sensei is good in calming us down. You need to learn something from her, Sensei. Poor Deku. Kiro, calm down, Ochako. X. Yua High. Shoto Aizawa arrived at the principal's office, and there he is greeted by Nezu himself, smiling as usual, but then he noted Aizawa's rather serious look, and asked if a student pissed him off or something, which Aizawa shook his head and said that is not the case. However, Nezu became a bit serious after Aizawa told him what went on after paying a visit at the Indian embassy, and how the ambassador's response was, and how the UA teacher was subtly thrown out of the embassy, signifying that the ambassador is less willing to check out what has happened to Midoriya there, which Nezu slowly nodded. The principal said that this is a problem given that Midoriya is in a foreign country, and that he might have a difficult time defending himself as he may not legally use his quirk there unless there is a reason. And there he said he will monitor things from here, and will see if he would talk to the Indian ambassador and persuade him to do something about it. That's your plan, Nezu? Yes. What? Makes me wonder what the ambassador's response be if you were to go there personally. I'm sure they will. Don't push your luck. Aizawa then told Nezu that he might have a hard time given how the UA teacher was subtly booted out from the embassy, and that there is an indication that the Indian ambassador might not be willing to cooperate. But Nezu said he will handle things from here, and he will see to it that the Indian and Japanese embassies will take action in regards to finding Midoriya. By then, All Might came in, having overheard the conversation and expressed his concern. But Nezu assured to him that he will do all he can to ensure Midoriya's safety, and stated that he will use his connections to pressure the Indian and Japanese embassies if needed, which the two UA teachers slowly nodded as Nezu gave his word that he will do all he can. I see. Then I trust that you will do what you can in getting the Indian authorities to find Midoriya Shonen. Yes. I will see to it that the embassies will get to work. I hope they would show you courtesy, in which I was booted out. You were Aizawa? Yes, All Might. They threw me out when I pressed on about Midoriya. That's horrible. Indeed. X. At the cult's lair, the scene shows that Midoriya is traversing his way towards the upper level of the mountain, where he is currently fighting off more of the cult henchmen, who are now armed with grenades, which he narrowly escaped, but is somewhat hurt due to the shrapnel brought about by the explosions of the grenades. Midoriya is bothered that the henchmen are recklessly throwing the grenades, as their actions also killed off the other henchmen, seeing that they were brainwashed, and are chanting the same monologue that other cult members do, showing that they have no free will, and are acting nothing more than puppets for the cult leader. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Pissed at the henchmen's actions, Midoriya activated the Black Whip quirk and uses it to whip the cult members into unconsciousness, and soon the path is cleared. And a panting Midoriya wobbled as he proceeded to go upward as the hill is quite steep. But then he paused a bit seeing a cave entrance where a table is there, with another set of fried chicken and rice being readied. And there Midoriya sighed as he apologized for stealing food as he began to gobble up the chicken and rice. And once full, he partially regained his stamina and proceeded to move forward. At the cult's lair, the scene shows that Midoriya is traversing his way towards the upper level of the mountain, where he is currently fighting off more of the cult henchmen, who are now armed with grenades, which he narrowly escaped, but is somewhat hurt due to the shrapnel brought about by the explosions of the grenades. Midoriya is bothered that the henchmen are recklessly throwing the grenades, as their actions also killed off the other henchmen, seeing that they were brainwashed, and are chanting the same monologue that other cult members do, showing that they have no free will, and are acting nothing more than puppets for the cult leader. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Pissed at the henchmen's actions, Midoriya activated the Black Whip quirk and uses it to whip the cult members into unconsciousness, and soon the path is cleared. And a panting Midoriya wobbled as he proceeded to go upward as the hill is quite steep. But then he paused a bit seeing a cave entrance where a table is there, with another set of fried chicken and rice being readied. And there Midoriya sighed as he apologized for stealing food as he began to gobble up the chicken and rice. And once full, he partially regained his stamina and proceeded to move forward. As Midoriya leaves the cave and proceeded to move forward, someone is watching him, and expressed worry that the boy is causing trouble for the cult, and ordered a pair of snipers to follow Midoriya and kill him on the spot, urging him to do it for the name of the goddess Kali. And they obliges as he ran off to go after Midoriya. As the man, revealed to be the Grand Vizier's assistant, heads back to the hideout to inform his leader of the developments, one of his trusted lieutenants asked what is he going to do. And just as the assistant is about to reply, he is startled to hear sounds of gunfire echoing the area. And he can hear the snipers screaming in the name of the cult of Thugis, which the assistant face-palmed, as the snipers are meant to stealthily kill the intruder, not revealing themselves like that. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. As the lieutenant paused to see if the snipers can pull off an upset, the assistant is unsure as his curiosity somewhat convinced him that things are not working out, as he can hear Midoriya shouting, and the sounds of gunfire gradually lessen. And the assistant's fears were soon realized. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. One for all, full cowling. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Texas Smash. Aliki. Gigi Jaya. Ali. Gigi Jaya. Ami. Gigi Jaya. Abishizi. Gigi Jaya. The lieutenant wondered what is going on and suggested that they check it out. But the assistant opted not to go check it out, fearing that the intruder might get them, and tells the lieutenant that they should retreat for now lest Midoriya sees them and give chase. But we get going. If that boy sees us, he'll chase us and force us to reveal where we are hiding. I'm sure our men will. That's what I thought. But he defeated the sea serpent. He made our men go out of commission. We must inform the Grand Vizier at once. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. Come on. Heeding, the lieutenant and the assistant ran off as fast as they could. And for the assistant, he is in a state of disbelief that a mere boy was able to cause problems for the cult, and now he has to urge the Grand Vizier to do something about it. And his faith in the Vizier's cause is beginning to waver, and wondered how he could solve this problem without exposing the cult's existence to the general public. The assistant is then startled as he heard more sounds of gunfire. But at the same time he can hear Midoriya's voice, showing that he is fighting back. And the results became very obvious. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Delaware Smash. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Colorado Smash. Aligi. Gigi Jaya. Ananin. Gigi Jaya. Gigi Jaya. Anani. Gigi Jaya. Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Yunuka. Anata dake nai adacute imidimo zuru. Aim no hai nai wa almadasu negai hitatsu dake. Anata no myun nai wasarita. Watashi no kakura. Madasoko nai eru. Tajita hano naka nemitaru. Omoi to iu na no Pandora no hauski. Toiki shinabasada tamarit. Itsamidimo maitita. Cake ochita watashi no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no katachi nai kawarda kutsu. Myun wo matasu no wa anata dake. Itsamidimo mataru. Here in the rain. Ch. 11. Sorakara no Kaminari. At Hasu, the time now 1630, and the scene shifts at the office of the Indian Embassy, where the Indian ambassador is somewhat reluctant to leave the building, fearing that he might get pestered again by someone in regards to Izuku Midoriya, as he had to repel the persistent inquiry of Shoto Aizawa, and the look on the UA teacher's face is enough to make the ambassador feel uncomfortable, and had to resort in having the guards escort Aizawa out of the building. Glancing at the wall clock, the ambassador is hoping that no one would come at this time, as it is 30 minutes before the building closes, and hoped that this would be the case, and wished that the Japanese ambassador is right about his suggestion about giving false assurances that the embassy in India would act on Yuahai's request to do a welfare check on Midoriya. Suddenly, the secretary came in and said he has a surprise visitor. But the ambassador hastily tells the secretary to have the visitor come back tomorrow. But the secretary said she couldn't as it is a VIP, and that he is already outside the door of the office. But the ambassador is insistent in saying that he will not entertain visitors right now. Sorry, but please tell the visitor to come back tomorrow. Are you sure, sir? Yes, please. But, no buts. Tell him I'm not feeling well. Yes, that's right, tell him that. But, sir, do as you are told. However, the visitor came in, and the ambassador stared wide-eyed, as the visitor turned out to be Nezu, the headmaster of Yuahai, and their Nezu calmly asked why the ambassador is unwilling to entertain a visitor, even though there is still office time left at the embassy, and said he came here on a humanitarian reason. Nezu tells the ambassador that he got word that a UA teacher came here earlier, and was promptly thrown out after the ambassador refused to heed on the complaint that a UA student went missing at India. And the ambassador feigned innocence, saying he doesn't know what he is talking about, hoping to mislead Nezu and have him leave the embassy at once. However, Nezu took out a tape recorder and played the recording, revealing that Aizawa secretly recorded the conversation, showing that the ambassador is unwilling to act on the situation involving Midoriya. And the ambassador became quite hysterical, as he might get sacked if the complaint comes to light. And their Nezu asked for a request to have the Japanese embassy in India to check on Midoriya to see if he is okay or not. And so, Mr. Ambassador, I would like to make a request. Can you please contact the Japanese embassy at India and do a welfare check on a certain Izuku Midoriya? Mr. Ambassador. Aye aye. Sir? Mama. Hysterical in defeat, the Indian ambassador gave his word that he will contact the Japanese embassy at once and will get right onto it. He picked the phone and called the Japanese embassy at India and spoke to the ambassador, where he uses coded phrases in order to inform the Japanese ambassador that Nezu is here. Yet Nezu is crafty enough to understood the intention, yet he feigned innocence. There the Japanese ambassador, having got the gist, made an audible statement that is enough for Nezu to hear, assured that he will act on it, and promised to call him once he gets confirmation, and then cuts the line. There the Indian ambassador tells Nezu that the Japanese ambassador is now working on the case, and Nezu nodded, thanking him for the help, and tells him to give him a call once Midoriya is found to be safe, or if he is in danger, which the ambassador said Nezu will be informed at once. Once they got the answers needed, and hurriedly yet discreetly, offered to escort Nezu out of the office, which Nezu said it is not needed. Shall I offer you escort? Oh, no need. Surely I. Thank you. I will be fine on my own. You don't have to be modest. I thank you for your time. I will be going now. Let me summon the guards. No need, thank you. As Nezu left the office, the Indian ambassador made sure that the principal of UA is out of the building. And there he called back the Japanese ambassador, and tells him that UA High may be on to him, as he did not expect that the UA High principal would see him so suddenly, and expressed fear that he might get sacked from his job if Nezu exposes his laziness. The Japanese ambassador assured to him that UA will not find out, as he instructed the Indian ambassador to stall the UA High officials as discreetly as possible, making it known that he will not waste time looking for a Japanese boy who wander off somewhere in India, saying that it would be better if Midoriya is said to be abducted and killed, so as not to waste resources over a meaningless missing person case. And that's what you will do. Really? Yes. I do not want to waste money over a Jap brat who wander off so stupidly. Still, it'd be better if he gets killed off and his body never found. That brat is giving me a headache. You do what I instructed you to do. Got it? Yes. Good. Haha. X. At the parking lot of the Indian Embassy building, the scene shifts inside the car, where Nezu and Snipe are listening to the conversation, as it turns out that Nezu planted a secret transmitter that would record the conversation inside the ambassador's office. And there the two UA High officials are now aware that something is amiss, and after factoring what Class 1 saw at the international news about the incident at India, particularly the victims of a snake attack, it is clear that Midoriya is in danger. Snipe suggested that they expose the Indian and the Japanese ambassadors for their incompetence and unwillingness, but Nezu declined, stating that there is more to this than meets the eye, and suggested that they head back to UA High, while at the same time he picks up his smartphone and called someone, and the person he is calling turned out to be Gran Torino himself. Hello, Gran Torino. Ah, Nezu. This is a surprise. I didn't expected you to give me a sudden call. Pardon for the suddenness, but we need your help. Really? What do you need? Prepare your passport. Huh? Is this an international situation? Yes. And this involves Izuku Midoriya. Huh? What did the kid do this time? X. At the hideout, the assistant arrived and found the Grand Vizier, who is overseeing the torturous activities where the kidnapped children are doing more slave labor. And there the assistant informs him that Midoriya is becoming a threat, wondering how a mere boy is able to slowly but systematically take down their henchmen, and even a pair of experienced snipers. The Vizier is confident and assured to his assistant that as long as Midoriya doesn't know where to find the way leading to the hideout, there won't be a problem, and said that he is only one boy, while the cult has more than 1,200 men to serve the cult of thuggies. And therefore, you have nothing to worry about. But my Vizier? You worry too much. With a reason. Huh? That boy took out our men. So many. And even our expert snipers fell to that boy. Relax. He is no match for our cult. The assistant is still worried, and tells the Vizier that Midoriya has taken out almost 50 of their men, and even defeated a sea serpent that they genetically made, voicing his concern that Midoriya may not be an ordinary boy at all, and suggested that they use outside contact to deal with the meddling and troublesome boy. The Vizier smirked, and said there is no need, for he has dispatched one of his 5 Devas to deal with the boy, which hearing this somewhat alleviate the assistant's fear, seeing that this Diva would be enough to kill the boy. Really, my Vizier? Yes, he will be enough. Which one? The one who controls the sky. Yes, of course. He has the advantage. See? You are right, my Vizier. Haha, told you so. X. Outside the lair, the scene shows that Midoriya is trekking the sides of the mountain, checking every cave entrance to see if there are any access that leads him towards the lair, and so far had no success, and decided to climb his way towards the top of the mountain, believing that it might lead him towards the entrance of the hideout. As Midoriya is climbing his way up, he is met with a volley of gunfire, and he looked to his side where he is shocked to see impoverished children, who appeared to be starved and in malnutrition, wielding machine guns, and Midoriya asked them what are they doing, and if they are the kidnapped children. But the children just glared at them and opened fire. But due to the weight of the machine guns, and the children are starved and weak, their aim was off and narrowly missed their target. Midoriya was forced to run around, yet he merely fell off the mountains and held onto an edge, and asked the children what are they trying to do, and why are they attacking him. Whoa, these kids are not really acting by themselves. What's going on here? Why are you shooting me? Do you realize what you're trying to do? Midoriya became alarmed as he noticed that the children appeared to be possessed, as they chant the same programming that the men he encountered earlier. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Suddenly, lightning came raining down, narrowly missing Midoriya, yet the impact shook the teen boy's body senses, and he is compelled to jump off, and is in danger of falling to his death due to his senses being rattled by the effects of the lightning. The scene shifts at the top of the mountain, where you can see what appeared to be an Indian man, bald-headed, sporting a white beard, sitting on top of what appeared to be a cloud, and is hovering above, holding what appeared to be a flute that is the size of a forearm, and he is playing a tune, where more lightning appeared and is flashing downward, intending to hit a target, and it seems that the target is Midoriya himself. At his rented flat, Gran Torino listens on as Nezu explained the situation involving Midoriya, and said that he has a feeling that either or both the Japanese and the Indian ambassadors are hiding something, as both appeared reluctant to act on a welfare check to see if Midoriya is okay after the news flash about the attacks on an Indian city where Midoriya is staying. Toronto rubbed his chin and beard as he can tell that what Nezu described is something he cannot overlook given that Midoriya is at a foreign land, and that he cannot legally use his quirk, unless under extreme circumstances that would justify the teen boy in doing so. Nezu suggested that Torino go to India as a tourist, and then stealthily check the crime scenes to see if Midoriya is okay, as the UA principal stated that Midoriya has not contacted him or his classmates, which made Torino decided that he will accept the request. Is that so? Yes, Torino-san. Very well, I accept. Really? Yes. I can't leave that kid alone since he's still a greenhorn. Thank you, Torino-san. So when do I leave for India? Right about. By then Nezu received a call, which the caller turned out to be Power Loader, and there he told Nezu that he got an idea on how to find Midoriya, saying that Hatsume is cooking up something that might help in checking out where Midoriya is. Really, Power Loader? Well, based on what Hatsume said, then this is a good chance to find Midoriya. Let's hope that Hatsume gets a good chance in working on her newest invention. Is it completed? Not yet. She said she needed a few more minutes. I see, well then. Okay? Nezu nodded and said he will head there at once. Nezu then invited Torino to come along at UA, and the two heroes leave and headed off to UA High. As the time now is 17:30, and Snipe asked what are the developments. After being told, Snipe nodded and drives the car and head off to UA High. Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Yuuka. Anada dake nai atakute imitimo zoto. Aim no hai nai wa omodasu negai hitatsu dake. Anota no mu nai wasarita. Watashi no kakura. Matasoko nai eru. Tajita hano naka nemitaru. Omoi ta iu na no Pandora no hauski. Toiki shinabasada tamarate. Itsumadimo maitita. Cake ochita watashi no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no katachi nai kawarta kutsu. Mun wo matasu no wa anada dake. Itsumadimo mataru. Here in the rain. Ch. 12. Sorakara no Fukatsuna Shaman. UA Academy. The time now is 18:15, and the scene shifts at Power Loader's workshop, where Hatsume is snickering as she managed to invent a device that allows her to use it like GPS to track Midoriya's cell phone, even if there is no signal at a certain area at India. Power Loader then asked if she is sure that the device can pinpoint Midoriya's location, despite him being somewhere at India. And the first-year support course student confidently proclaimed that her baby will find Midoriya, no matter where he is. Sure, my baby will find him. Really? Yes. Okay, we're counting on you. Ha ha, leave it to me. I hope this invention of yours work. It will. By then, Nezu arrived, followed by Gran Torino, and there the principal asked Power Loader how are things here, and Power Loader said Hatsume is working on it, and said it will be ready any moment now. And the principal said that they hoped that the device is ready, as he planned on sending Torino to India ASAP, and said that once the device is successful and ready, he will call a contact of his at the Indian embassy and have a visa ready, so that Torino will leave for India immediately. By then Hatsume finished working on the device and began testing it, where she connected it to a computer with a huge monitor. And there she activated it, where the device slowly picked up the signal, and said that she secretly installed a tracer on the gauntlet that Midoriya is wearing. And after a few moments, the signal is fixed and finally found where Midoriya is, and using the Google map, they are able to pinpoint Midoriya's location. Nezu nodded and tells Torino what to do. And the elderly pro-hero nodded and said he will accept the request, and the principal began to call a contact of his to make arrangements to have Torino's visa ready. And after some minutes the contact told Nezu that the visa is ready and Torino will have to pick it up at a meeting place, as well as telling him that the next flight to India is due in 3 hours. 3 hours? Yep. That's the next flight to India, the earliest. I see. If you hurry, I can meet you and give you this visa. Much appreciated. Sure, but you better hurry. We will. Fine, then. Nodding, Nezu tells Torino that they will meet up with the contact to get the visa and suggested that he go to the airport in his civilian guise so as not to arouse suspicion. And Torino said that he will conduct a secret investigation of his own once he arrive at India. Nezu then called Snipe and tells him to get ready as they are going out again. And their things are taking a turn as Nezu and Torino are off to meet with the contact to get Torino's visa, and then head off to the airport to catch the flight to India, unaware that Midoriya is currently embroiled in a mission to find kidnapped children while facing a secret cult. Power Loader watches them leave while thanking Hatsume for her help, which she said it is nothing, though she said that she is curious as to what Midoriya is doing at the moment, as she finds it odd that he didn't contact UA when the place he is staying became the talk of UA when news about the attack was televised on cable TV. Beats me, Hatsume. I'm betting Midoriya is having a good time. Don't be silly. The news is now out that the place at India became a crime scene, and Midoriya hasn't called to let us know that he's okay or not. I'm sure he's having a good time. Don't be so optimistic, Hatsume. Heh. Even the principal is getting involved. Heh. X. Somewhere at India. Time, 15:30. Outside the lair, the scene shows that Midoriya is trekking the sides of the mountain, checking every cave entrance to see if there are any access that leads him towards the lair, and so far had no success, and decided to climb his way towards the top of the mountain, believing that it might lead him towards the entrance of the hideout. As Midoriya is climbing his way up, he is met with a volley of gunfire, and he looked to his side where he is shocked to see impoverished children, who appeared to be starved and in malnutrition, wielding machine guns, and Midoriya asked them what are they doing, and if they are the kidnapped children, but the children just glared at them and opened fire. But due to the weight of the machine guns, and the children are starved and weak, their aim was off and narrowly missed their target. Midoriya was forced to run around, yet he nearly fell off the mountains and held onto an edge, and asked the children what are they trying to do, and why are they attacking him. Whoa, these kids are not really acting by themselves. What's going on here? Why are you shooting me? Do you realize what you're trying to do? Midoriya became alarmed as he noticed that the children appeared to be possessed, as they chant the same programming that the men he encountered earlier. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Suddenly, lightning came raining down, narrowly missing Midoriya, yet the impact shook the teen boy's body senses, and he is compelled to jump off, and is in danger of falling to his death due to his senses being rattled by the effects of the lightning. The scene shifts at the top of the mountain, where you can see what appeared to be an Indian man, bald-headed, sporting a white beard, sitting on top of what appeared to be a cloud, and is hovering above, holding what appeared to be a flute that is the size of a forearm. And he is playing a tune, where more lightning appeared and is flashing downward, intending to hit a target, and it seems that the target is Midoriya himself. The scene shifts down where Midoriya is falling fast, as he realized that he could die from the height if he doesn't do something, and using his wits, he is forced to use the gauntlet to fire the grappling hook, and its claw struck the side of the mountain and managed to halt his fall and waited for a while, before he sensed that something bad is about to happen, and he jumped off. And 3 seconds later the lightning struck the area where Midoriya got off, and the teen boy realized that this is no ordinary lightning strike, as lightning strikes do not strike that low. Midoriya managed to cushion his fall and landed on the lower area of the road of the mountain, just as the seemingly brainwashed children are aiming their weapons at him, getting ready to shoot, and Midoriya is in a pinch as he is cornered. and it would take a miracle for him to escape unscathed. Midoriya attempted to reach out to the children, and tells them that their parents are waiting for them, and that they should drop their weapons and leave this place. However, he finds out that the cult has done a good job in putting their hold on the children, as they chanted the same indoctrination that the other cult members praised. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Suddenly, the lightning suddenly struck and hits the area where Midoriya and the brainwashed children are at. Unfortunately, Midoriya escaped serious injuries, as the impact of the lightning strike sent him further downward from the mountain. And while falling, he uses his Black Whip quirk to get a hold on a twig and halted his fall. However, he saw the possessed children falling down, and their bodies were charred and still. And Midoriya stared wide-eyed, seeing that the lightning strike directly struck the children, and it is safe to assume that they are killed instantly. And if there are some who initially survive the strike, they won't survive the fall, as Midoriya is still shaken by the effects of the lightning strike. He gritted his teeth as he is partially weakened, and could not do anything as the children hits the ground. And you can see the children lay still, their skulls cracked and lying in a pool of blood. Filled with anger, he willed himself to recover and uses full cowling to jump off, and uses the gauntlet to go to the other side of the mountain to bypass the route he uses. As expected, the lightning stuck that area where Midoriya left, and kept at it for at least 10 minutes before it stopped. And Midoriya uses stealth, as he intends to sneak his way up, and find a way to enter the lair, intending to put a stop to the kidnappers' activities for good. As Midoriya uses the gauntlet's grappling hook to climb upward, he recalled a support item that Hatsume gave him, and he took it out, which is a goggles, and as he put it on, it showed a scope-like ability that is similar to Hatsume's quirk. As he looked upward, he saw something hovering above the top of the mountain, and saw a man riding on what appeared to be a cloud. He is holding something, and there the lightning struck the area where Midoriya previously stayed. Midoriya deduced that the person must be the one controlling the lightning, and believed that the attacker thinks that his target is still at one side. So the teen boy decided to continue the deception and sneak his way up. Inside the cult's lair, the Grand Vizier is overseeing the slave labor as children moaned in despair, as they are too weakened to continue work. And the cult henchmen continuously whipped the children to force them to continue the work. And there the Vizier's right-hand man came and made his report, saying that one of the Devis is still looking for the intruder, but recklessly killed the brainwashed child slaves, which the Vizier seemingly looked unconcerned. "Oh, it's fine. Are you sure? We lost potential slave labor. Then we abduct more children. We can replenish our slaves. But the intruder, our Diva will deal with him. But I'm worried. Fear not. He will take care of it. My Vizier." The right-hand man tells the Vizier that they should send additional men to assist the Diva. But the Vizier assured that the intruder won't make his way here, confident that the Diva he sent will be enough to finish the job. And soon their plans will come into fruition, and no one will stop him from reviving the goddess Kali. He then told his henchmen that their plans will bear fruit, and assured that they will rule India and the rest of the world, raising his hands as a show of triumph. And the henchmen roared as they chanted the indoctrination that they were taught, showing that they are completely obedient to the Grand Vizier, and will serve him until they die. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. The henchmen then resumed in torturing the children, whipping the crying children as they began to stall due to physical exhaustion. But then one of the henchmen whipped a child so ruthlessly that the child fell towards the vat of burning liquid, screaming before dying, and the other children were terrified. And the henchmen shouted at the children to continue working. The terrified children were forced to do as told and wobbly resumed the slave work, whilst the henchmen proclaimed the praising that the Grand Vizier taught them, seemingly not minding that they are repeating the phrase over and over. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. About 45 minutes later, Midoriya is panting as he had to rely on the gauntlet's grappling hook to climb his way to the top of the mountain, figuring that the attacker might detect him if Midoriya uses his quirk. And thus the Class 1 student has rely on manual means to get to the top of the mountain and take the attacker by surprise. Midoriya is slowly getting exhausted as he struggled to jump along with the way he uses his gauntlet, and wished that there is a way to get there faster without giving himself away. And as he momentarily took a break to regain some of his stamina, He noticed that a light is blinking at the side of his gauntlet, and wondered what this means, as he did not recall about this as Hatsume said nothing about it. Why is my gauntlet blinking? Looking up, he saw the cloud hovering above, and noticed that it is too close to the top of the mountain while moving around in circles, and using the scope. He noticed that it wasn't an ordinary cloud, as the goggle's scope-like mechanism is also equipped with X-ray vision, and Midoriya deduces that something is amiss and uses full cowling to jump and propel himself upward, while using the gauntlet's grappling hook to assist him. About 10 minutes later, he reached the top of the mountain, where Midoriya is surprised to see that it has a hut, and finally saw what is causing the lightning strikes, as he can see what appeared to be an Indian man, bald-headed, sporting a white beard, sitting on top of what appeared to be a cloud, and is hovering above, holding what appeared to be a flute that is the size of a forearm, and he is playing a tune, where more lightning appeared and is flashing downward, intending to hit a target, and Midoriya himself realizes that he is the object of the attack. The Indian man smirked, and admitted that Midoriya seemingly managed to sneak his way here. But it is all for naught now. He has no place to go, and he will never escape him, or the cult. The man proclaimed that no one will stop the cult from reviving the goddess Kali, and not even foreigners have a say about this, not even the government of any outside world. Midoriya angrily demanded to know why he killed the children earlier, which the man sneered, saying that they are disposable, and he has free rein to rid anyone who do not do a good job, which further angered the teen boy. All for that? Indeed. Why? It is the will that would please the goddess Kali. You're a cold-blooded murderer. Whatever you say, what we do is the will of Kali, and we do what we please, for what we do is for the sake of our goddess. I'll stop you. Foolish boy. Midoriya stood there, eyes glaring, teeth gritting, hands clenching, and now he decided to go all out in order to put a stop to the madman who is riding on what appeared to be a cloud. And both individuals had a tense stare-off before a battle is about to commence. The Stage 2 boss battle BGM of Arumana, no Kiseki plays. Raising the flute-like item, the Indian man who is hovering on a cloud-like object made his first move, as lightning struck down, but Midoriya uses the full cowling to get some leverage and moved out of the way, and avoided the first lightning strike, where Midoriya saw that the strike caused a shallow crater on the ground, and he began to suspect something which doesn't seem to make any sense. Recalling the lessons he had at UA, in which a teacher lectures about weather and stuff, Midoriya recalls that lightning are formed when there is a thunderstorm in which black clouds formed, and there are rains falling. But he noticed that the clouds and the skies are bright blue and crystal clear, and the sun is shining brightly. He then saw the Indian man waving the flute-like object, and then saw something glowed behind the clouds, which gave the boy time to anticipate, and moved out of the way before another lightning struck down. There, the 16-year-old teen boy began to notice a pattern, and now he seemed to have an idea on what to do next. Midoriya went under the attacker, and uses the gauntlet's grappling hook to hit underneath the cloud that the attacker is riding on, and the boy is pulled upward, and is now dangling underneath the flying cloud, where he discovered that it wasn't really a cloud, but a floating device, and allows the attacker to ride on, which explains why the attacker is floating questionably. As the attacker noticed that his target seemingly disappeared, he looked around to see if Midoriya is hiding, unaware that he is hiding underneath the device that is floating, and the attacker decides to check if Midoriya fell to the ground or not. By then several henchmen showed up after the vizier's right-hand man ordered them to provide assistance, and there they saw Midoriya dangling underneath the floating cloud, where they aimed their weapons, consisting of bow and arrows, and aimed at the boy, where they began chanting the same indications taught to them. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya saw this, and is forced to take evasive action, as the cult members open fire, shooting the arrows which narrowly missed their target, and Midoriya is forced to climb up and rode onto the floating device, and is now face to face with the Indian man, who is taken by surprise, and is about to wave the flute-like device, but Midoriya grapples with the man as they fight over the weapon. The Indian man sneered, and tells the boy it is futile, for no one survived the wrath of the cult of Thuggee, and lives to tell the tale. But all Midoriya said is that he will put a stop to their madness once, and for all, and expose them to the Indian government. I'm putting a stop to your madness. You cannot stop us. I will. Anyone who opposes us die a painful death. And I'll be willing to make you suffer for that. Do you think you have the nerve to kill us? Come and try it, boy. Somewhere within Hasu, Nezu and Gran Torino arrived and meets up with Nezu's contact, where the contact gives Gran Torino the rushed passport and visa, and said that the process was quite risky, but somehow managed to pull it off, And there he tells the elderly pro-hero that he has to hurry and head to the airport, as the flight to India would take off in a matter of 30 minutes. Nezu thanked the contact for his help, which the contact said it is nothing, but asked in curiosity on why is Torino in such a rush to head for India, saying that there's not much for him to do sightseeing. But Nezu said it is an emergency. An emergency? Yes. Something important is needed for Torino to do there. At India? Yes. Well, whatever. Thanks again. Sure. Now then. Nezu then told Torino to get going, and advised him to contact Yue once he finds any developments regarding Midoriya, which the elderly pro-hero nodded, and he asked Nezu to let All Might know that he will bring Midoriya back home safely. I'll be going then. Be careful, Torino. Oh, tell Toshinori that I'll be bringing Midoriya back here. I will. Good. God luck, Torino. Thanks. See you. After that, Torino uses his quirk, Jet, to fly fast as he felt that hailing a taxi would take up so much time. And there Nezu leaves and head back to his car where Snipe is waiting. And the pro-hero asked the principal if Torino left, which the principal said that Torino is on his way to the airport, and tells Snipe to head back to Yue Academy. Snipe nodded and starts the car. And there he asked Nezu if Torino would be okay. And the principal nodded, assuring that Torino can take care of himself, and since he is not widely known as a pro-hero outside Japan, Torino is perfect in commencing an undercover work in order to find Midoriya and make sure that he is okay. You think that Torino can move stealthily at India? Yes, it's perfect. I hope he won't run into trouble. Torino can take care of himself. Really? Yes. After all, he is All Might's trainer. I suppose. X. Meanwhile, at India, the scene shows that Midoriya has reached the top of the mountain, where the Class 1 member is surprised to see that it has a hut, and finally saw what is causing the lightning strikes, as he can see what appeared to be an Indian man, bald-headed, sporting a white beard, sitting on top of what appeared to be a cloud, and is hovering above, holding what appeared to be a flute that is the size of a forearm. And he is playing a tune, where more lightning appeared and is flashing downward, intending to hit a target, and Midoriya himself realizes that he is the object of the attack. The Indian man smirked, and admitted that Midoriya seemingly managed to sneak his way here, but it is all for naught now. He has no place to go, and he will never escape him, or the cult. The man proclaimed that no one will stop the cult from reviving the goddess Kali, and not even foreigners have a say about this, not even the government of any outside world. Midoriya angrily demanded to know why he killed the children earlier, which the man sneered, saying that they are disposable, and he has free rein to rid anyone who do not do a good job, which further angered the teen boy. All for that. Indeed. Why? It is the will that would please the goddess Kali. You're a cold-blooded murderer. Whatever you say, what we do is the will of Kali, and we do what we please, for what we do is for the sake of our goddess. I'll stop you. Foolish boy. Midoriya stood there, eyes glaring, teeth gritting, hands clenching. And now he decided to go all out in order to put a stop to the madman who is riding on what appeared to be a cloud. And both individuals had a tense stare-off before a battle is about to commence. The Stage 2 boss battle BGM of Arumana, no Kiseki plays. Raising the flute-like item, the Indian man who is hovering on a cloud-like object made his first move, as lightning struck down, but Midoriya uses the full cowling to get some leverage and moved out of the way, and avoided the first lightning strike where Midoriya saw that the strike caused a shallow crater on the ground, and he began to suspect something which doesn't seem to make any sense. Recalling the lessons he had at Yue, in which a teacher lectures about weather and stuff, Midoriya recalls that lightning are formed when there is a thunderstorm in which black clouds formed and there are rains falling. But he noticed that the clouds and the skies are bright blue and crystal clear, and the sun is shining brightly. He then saw the Indian man waving the flute-like object, and then saw something glowed behind the clouds, which gave the boy time to anticipate and moved out of the way before another lightning struck down. There the 16-year-old teen boy began to notice a pattern, and now he seemed to have an idea on what to do next. Midoriya went under the attacker and uses the gauntlet's grappling hook to hit underneath the cloud that the attacker is riding on, and the boy is pulled upward and is now dangling underneath the flying cloud, where he discovered that it wasn't really a cloud but a floating device and allows the attacker to ride on, which explains why the attacker is floating questionably. As the attacker noticed that his target seemingly disappeared, he looked around to see if Midoriya is hiding, unaware that he is hiding underneath the device that is floating, and the attacker decides to check if Midoriya fell to the ground or not. By then several henchmen showed up after the vizier's right-hand man ordered them to provide assistance, and there they saw Midoriya dangling underneath the floating cloud, where they aimed their weapons, consisting of bow and arrows, and aimed at the boy, where they began chanting the same indications taught to them. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya saw this and is forced to take evasive action as the cult members open fire, shooting the arrows which narrowly missed their target. And Midoriya is forced to climb up and rode onto the floating device, and is now face to face with the Indian man, who is taken by surprise and is about to wave the flute-like device, but Midoriya grapples with the man as they fight over the weapon. The Indian man sneered and tells the boy it is futile, for no one survived the wrath of the cult of Thugi and lives to tell the tale. But all Midoriya said is that he will put a stop to their madness once and for all, and expose them to the Indian government. I'm putting a stop to your madness. You cannot stop us. I will. Anyone who opposes us die a painful death. And I'll be willing to make you suffer for that. Do you think you have the nerve to kill us? Come and try it, boy. Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Yuuka. Anata dake nai adacute imadimo zuru. Aim no hai nai wa omidasu negai hitatsu dake. Anata no myun nai wasareta. Watashi no kakura. Mata soko nai eru. Tajita hano naka nemitaru. Omoi te iru na no Pandora no hauski. Toiki shinabasata tamarate. Itsumadimo maitita. Cake ochita watashi, no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no katachi nai kawarta kutsu. Myun wo matasu no wa anata dake. Itsumadimo mataru. Here in the rain. Ch. 13. Sora ga achita. Somewhere inside the hidden base. The Grand Vizier is overseeing the secret operation, where his henchmen have arrived and brought newly kidnapped children from other impoverished villages. And there the henchmen began whipping the kids into submission, ordering them to do labor work. And you can hear the children wailing in pain and terror. And this further emboldened the henchmen to physically abuse the kids. As the Grand Vizier is watching in glee, one of his top lieutenants came and reported the latest situation where the second Diva is currently engaging battle with the intruder, and that other henchmen arrived there to provide assist to take down Midoriya at any way possible. The lieutenant also reported that the brainwashed children he sent to go after Midoriya were killed, though he wasn't sure if this is due to Midoriya or from the Diva. The Grand Vizier said it doesn't matter, as the children are easily disposable and replaceable, and told him to continue monitoring the situation and let him know what the results are. And that's that. Got it. Yes, my Vizier. And let me know what would happen next. Yes, my Vizier. Oh, and please inform our men to kidnap more kids. Got it. Yes, my Vizier. Good. Now go. Yes, my Vizier. After that, the Grand Vizier ordered his henchmen to continue ordering the kidnapped children to work harder. And there the henchman cruelly uses metal whips with barbed wires and whip the helpless children. And you can hear the children screaming in pain as they are physically tortured into doing slave labor. And the henchmen further increased their violent actions to make the kids do as told. Work. Do not stop. No rest. Do it now, or we kill you. For the name of the goddess Kali. Or you'll be sorry. Take that. X. At the top of the mountain, Midoriya is currently riding on top of the cloud, grappling with the Diva as he attempts to disarm him. But in doing so, the Diva accidentally fired the lightning bolts, hitting the ground below, and the henchmen ran around to avoid getting hit. But despite this, they appeared to be brainwashed, as they mindlessly chanted the same indoctrination taught to them. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. And due to their brainwashed states, the henchmen took out their guns and aimed at Midoriya, seemingly forgetting that the Diva is also riding the cloud-looking apparatus and opened fire, where a hail of bullets are zooming past them, and some struck the flying vehicle, and at one point it flew past Midoriya's mask, boring a hole but narrowly missed hitting his head. The boy became concerned as that was a close call, and had to grapple with the Diva while avoiding the rain of bullets being fired at him. And yet the Diva said that in a few moments Midoriya will be dealt with, and the cult of Thugis will rule India and the rest of the world. Midoriya wasn't pleased, and told the Diva to tell the henchmen to stop as he too will be hit. But the Diva ignored him as he believed that the henchmen would respond to his command. Make them stop. I won't. You'll get hit too. They respond to my command, and I told them to kill you at any costs. You really want to get yourself killed? I will never die. The goddess Kali will grant me eternal life. You really are crazy. Infidel. However, the henchmen appeared to be devoid of common sense, as they mindlessly fired their guns upward and hits the apparatus, which partially penetrated and nearly hit the Diva. And he saw a bullet nearly hitting a cloud, which made the diva concerned and told the henchmen to cease fire and wait for his next commands. As Midoriya sensed it, the henchmen were so brainwashed thoroughly that they seemed unable to distinguish between allies and targets, as they fired indiscriminately while chanting the indoctrination repeatedly. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Angered, the diva raised his staff and is about to press a button, which Midoriya seduces that the opponent is about to summon a lightning strike, and he uses the gauntlet's grappling hook to hit the diva's hand, causing him to lose his hold on the staff and fell to the ground. There Midoriya told him that now he won't have the means to kill indiscriminately, but the diva berated the boy for making him lose his only means of stopping the henchmen's reckless actions, as they will keep firing regardless of who their master is. You fool. Now I can't stop my men from firing recklessly. Now you will pay. Die. The diva punched Midoriya back and ordered the henchman to retrieve his staff and bring it to him, only to be met by a hail of bullets as the henchmen kept firing their guns while chanting the indoctrination over and over. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. However, one of the henchmen stepped on the staff, accidentally pressing the button that controls the lightning-making apparatus, and the huge cloud that's been hovering began to glow and fired several lightning bolts and struck the ground with reckless abandon. The action was so sudden that the henchmen had no time to react, as one by one, they were struck and slowly died on the spot. It is shown that the charge was immense, that the henchmen were charred electrically beyond recognition, and Midoriya was horrified at what he saw. He then jumped off the flying cloud and uses full cowling to slow his descent, while taking care to see what the sky is doing. The diva also got off where the lightning strikes and destroyed the flying cloud, and there the two are on the top of the mountain and are facing off. There the diva found his staff and told Midoriya that his life is now over and will command the lightning to kill him. But Midoriya called off the bluff, stating that he figured out that the diva is using the staff as a remote control, and that the lightning strikes are artificial and uses a machine to produce it, which surprised the diva. What? I figured it out. That cloud is a support invention type. For lightning to be produced, the clouds have to be dark. Yet the sky is bright and no thunder is being produced. I now know your secret. Damn you. Shocked that the secret has been exposed, the diva raises his staff and prepares to command the lightning and hit Midoriya, and the UA student braces himself as he looks around to see if there is a secret entrance he could take refuge. Suddenly more henchmen arrived and aimed their guns at the boy, and they too have been indoctrinated as they chant the same programming like the rest of the cult members. Obvious that they are stripped of their own free will. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. The diva laughed and taunted Midoriya that his death is inevitable, and there is no one who can save him now, and raises his staff to make preparations to summon the lightning. But Midoriya asked if he intended to, knowing that he could kill his own men. The diva said that they are disposable, and the cult will simply recruit more, leaving Midoriya disgusted. They are disposable. They can be replaced. The cult will grow stronger. And you cannot stop us. However, something went wrong as the lightning began to strike, surprising the diva as he did not press the button yet. And there the lightning bolt struck the diva, which damaged the staff beyond repair, while hitting the henchmen who are killed on the spot. The diva is also dead due to the strong intensity of the lightning strike, thus ending his life. Midoriya saw an entrance where the henchman emerged, and is about to head there when the lightning bolts struck the ground several times. Midoriya uses the full cowling to propel himself towards the secret entrance and got into them, and descent downward as the lightning kept striking, until the apparatus that produces the lightning exploded. Thus the threat of the lightning strikes have ended. And now Midoriya has found a way to head towards where the cult is hiding, and intended to stop them and rescue the kidnapped children. Many thanks to those who read and reviewed this fic. I really appreciated it, and this gave me inspiration to work on the next chapter. And here story continues as Midoriya is now on his way to find the cult's lair, in order to rescue the kidnapped children after his encounter with the second diva who tried to kill him in the previous chapters. And now things take a different turn as Midoriya is currently about to navigate his way to a new entrance that might lead to the cult's lair, where a new stage is set. Well then, read on and enjoy. The diva laughed and taunted Midoriya that his death is inevitable, and there is no one who can save him now, and raises his staff to make preparations to summon the lightning. But Midoriya asked if he intended to, knowing that he could kill his own men. The diva said that they are disposable, and the cult will simply recruit more, leaving Midoriya disgusted. They are disposable. They can be replaced. The cult will grow stronger. And you cannot stop us. However, something went wrong as the lightning began to strike, surprising the diva as he did not press the button yet. And there the lightning bolts struck the diva, which damaged the staff beyond repair, while hitting the henchmen who were killed on the spot. The diva is also dead due to the strong intensity of the lightning strike, thus ending his life. Midoriya saw an entrance where the henchman emerged and is about to head there when the lightning bolts struck the ground several times. Midoriya uses the full cowling to propel himself towards the secret entrance and got in, and descent downward as the lightning kept striking until the apparatus that produces the lightning exploded. Thus the threat of the lightning strikes have ended. And now Midoriya has found a way to head towards where the cult is hiding and intended to stop them and rescue the kidnapped children. As he descends towards the entrance, he finds the hall very narrow and long, and he started to get wary, seeing that there is very little space for him to try out maneuvering if he encounter more cult henchmen who are armed and loaded. Midoriya stopped on his tracks as he reconsidered his approach, as he looks around and realized that it would be too risky for him to go ahead given that there is little room for him to try finding space to dodge incoming attacks. As the Class 1 member is about to reach a decision, he saw the cult members approaching, and one of them is holding a grenade, and Midoriya stared wide-eyed, realizing that he is risking a cave-in, and told the cult member that he is risking suicide, as well as potentially killing his comrades. Don't do it. You'll cause a cave-in. You'll get yourself and your comrades killed. However, the cult members are oblivious, as they were indoctrinated by the cult, and uttering the same words like automated puppets. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. The situation worsened as another cult member brought out an RPG and is ready to fire, and Midoriya came to the conclusion that the cult members are in no shape to reason with, so he activated the full cowling and ran as fast as he could, heading back to the exit of the cave they are in. As the cult member is aiming the RPG at the fleeing boy, the other cult member removed the safety pin of the grenade, which he intended to throw it towards Midoriya, even though the boy is quite out of range. Yet the cult members are too brainwashed to notice it, and they chanted the indoctrinated words taught to them as if they are like a looped recording. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. However, as the cult member threw the grenade, it struck the ceiling and rebounded back, landing in front of the cult members. And in an ironic twist of fate, the cult members seemingly did not mind it, and once more chanted the oath of the cult of Thuggee. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. The grenade exploded, which killed the cult members, but then the RPG shell has been launched, which flew straight before it struck a portion of the ceiling and causes a cave-in, which Midoriya ran faster as he could feel the shrapnel hitting his back. By the time he got out of the cave has given in, blocked the passageway, and thus going back in is impossible now. Midoriya clenched his fists as he now has to find another way in, and he began to slowly descend from the mountaintop and looked around to see if there is an alternate way of finding the cult's hideout. The scene shifts inside the cave, where it was covered in debris, and you can see half of the cult members are dead, due to being blown up by the grenade, brought about by their own foolishness. Yet the remaining half are still breathing and are close to expiring. Yet they remain to be brainwashed even in their final moments, and before expiring, they chanted the cult's oath for the last time. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Yuika. Anada dake nai adacute imidi mozuro. Aim no hai nai wa omadasu negai hitatsu dake. Anada no mune nai wasarita. Watashi no kakara. Mada soko nai aru. Tajita hano naka nemadaru. Omoi de iu na no Pandora no hauski. Toiki shinabasada tamarate. Itsumidimo maitita. Cake uchida watashi no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no Katachi nai kawarta kutsu. Myun wo mitasu no wa anata dake. Itsumademo mataru. Here in the rain. Ch. 14. Zugakatsu no Dikautsu. Tokyo International Airport. The time now is 1920. Gran Torino is at the gate of the departure area. As he is awaiting the announcement of the flight, he is taking and dressed in his civilian guise. Torino is dressed like a safari hunter, and thus he is unrecognized by other passengers, as they are waiting for their plane that would take them to India. One passenger asked Torino out of curiosity, seeing him in that get-up, and inquired if he is on a leisure trip. Because of Torino's disguise, the passenger did not recognize him as a pro-hero. So, are you on a trip to the forest or something? Sort of. Quite odd, no? I guess you could say that. Why India of all places? You could have gone to Africa. India's quite near. That's all. Really? Really? Torino sighed in relief, seeing that no one recognized him, which is a good thing, as this would prevent anyone from suspecting anything, as Nezu suspecting that the Indian ambassador is hiding something, and because of his reluctance of providing prompt response on doing a welfare check on Midoriya at India. After some 20 more minutes, the speaker blared, where the announcer said that the flight to India is ready, and there the departing passengers stood up and are heading for the departure gate en route to the airplane. And there the passengers can be heard commenting that certain tourist spots and attractions at India are interesting. Though they do comment that peace and order can be an issue, given that they heard about a news about snakes attacks at some certain areas. Is it safe to go there? I hope so. Too bad the news sort of left me shaken. Will it be okay to go there? The police better. I hope I won't encounter snakes there. Haha. I'm sure it's safe now. Torino heard it and realized that Midoriya is really having a situation there and hoped that he is okay, unaware that the boy is already having a lot of problems at this time. Once on the airplane, the stewardess passed by and told Torino that the flight to India would take 3 hours behind, meaning that by the time they leave Japan, the plane will arrive about 16:30 in the afternoon, which the elderly pro-hero nodded, as he will have time to look for a hostel near the crime scene where Midoriya was last seen. I see. That's good to hear. Will you be okay, sir? Yes. I have the time to look for a hostel. Really, sir? Considering your age? I'll be fine. Really? Really, sir? Yes. Thank you for your concern. After several minutes, the passengers were told to put on their seat belts, and the airplane began to leave the runway and flew, as it is departing from Japanese airspace and is heading for India. There Torino glanced at the window as he glanced at the scene below, where he mentally comments that this is the first time in many years that he left Japan. And now he is going on a foreign country just to look for Midoriya and see if he is okay. Back at India, Midoriya is depending from the mountaintop as he is looking for an alternate entry to find the fastest possible routes leading to the cult's hideout. And he is beginning to show signs of frustration, as he felt like he is being pushed out of every chance he find, until he saw something below which looked like an extension of the mountain, as there are roads below. Midoriya decided to check it out and stealthily went there. And upon landing, he saw the cult members patrolling the area, and this made the boy feel a certain amount of hope. And he is now ready to embark on his next move to locate the cult's main base. The Stage 3 BGM of Arumana no Kiseki plays. As Midoriya sneaked his way around, he began to notice something about the surrounding area he is in, as he saw that some of the mountain walls sports several skull faces attached. And this made the boy feel wary, as had a feeling that the cult he is facing may not be the usual types, and waited for a proper time to make his next move, as he saw that several cult members are armed. The next scene shows that another group of cult members arrived, and brought more kidnapped children with them. And you can see that the children are severely malnourished, as they came from several impoverished areas within India, and the children were visibly weak to walk on their own. And the cult members showed their ruthlessness by kicking the downed child repeatedly until the child is killed. Then one of the cult members doused the dead body in gasoline before setting it on fire, and warned the children of a similar fate if they dare oppose them, making the children tremble in fear. There the cult members made their warning clear as they grabbed another child, doused her in gasoline before setting her on fire, and the cult members began chanting the indoctrination oath unabashedly. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Angered by what the cult members did, Midoriya went into action and uses the full cowling to propel himself towards the cult members, and uses the shoot-style kick attacks to disable the villains and knock them out, and went to the children to assure them that he will save them. The frightened children begged Midoriya to get them out of here, as they want to go home to their families and live quietly. Please, help us. I don't want to die. We want to go home. Please. Help us. I don't want to die. We want to go home. Wah. Suddenly more cult members arrived, and they threw some liquid elements towards him, which Midoriya unintentionally evaded, which he discovered that the liquids were gasoline. And there the shocked Midoriya told the children to run as fast as they could, fearing that the cult members will set the children on fire. As the children ran off, Midoriya prepared himself to stall the cult members, but then he saw the children pass by the wall that has a huge skull head, which the mouth opened and breaths out fire, which turned out to be a booby trap, and the children screamed as they are set on fire. Ay. Gigi Jaya. Ah. Arg. Ay. Gigi Jaya. Ah. Arg. In less than 90 seconds the children were charred to death, and Midoriya was shaken at what happened. And there the cult members unrepentantly celebrated, as they chanted the indoctrinated oath of the cult. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. At an outdoor cart-like canteen somewhere within the city, the scene shows that the Indian ambassador is having a dinner, and joining him is his assistant. As it turns out that he and the assistant seemingly in cahoots, as they were instructed by the Japanese embassy in India to stall as much as they can about the incident at India. And the two men are drinking sake as they are pondering on what to do next, as they were instructed by the Japanese ambassador to keep on lying about the state of affairs at India. The assistant is worried as he felt that UA Academy do not believe that everything is well at India after learning that Midoriya is there. And the Indian ambassador is also feeling the pressure. And both men are wondering what the Japanese embassy in India is thinking at the moment. Wondering why come up with a lie that Midoriya is okay when reports aired on Japanese news about the snake attacks at India. Sir. What? I don't feel so good. I know. But we'll have to. What were they thinking? Beats me. This is problematic. You don't say. The two men sighed as they wished that Midoriya would never go to India in the first place, as his presence there caused an uproar. And now the ambassador and his assistant are now facing the pressure. And by then his phone rang and his superior called, and instructed the Indian ambassador to keep up the charade, and keep UA Academy and the Japanese authority under wraps, and give them false assurance that all is well. The Indian ambassador's superior stated that no one must know that Midoriya is in India, and that the ambassador must keep up appearances to maintain the peace. But the ambassador said that it is now difficult to maintain the facade. But his superior kept on saying that they must maintain the illusion that this is for the greater good. You know the reason why. But sir, do not fear. Our goddess will guide us. Still, do as told. Do not let our goddess down. Good night. Wait. After that, the call is cut off, and the caterer is baffled upon hearing the caller said the catchphrases like, death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world, which the ambassador and his assistant were shocked that someone has overheard the conversation. The Indian ambassador grabbed the knife and stabbed the caterer on his skull, penetrated the brain and killed him on the spot, which surprised the assistant and asked him what will they do now, as the ambassador just killed an innocent victim. The ambassador said they need to get out of here at once, as no one must know that they are members of the cult of Fugis, and this secret must remain a secret, revealing that the two men are secretly in league with the cult, and that they must maintain this secrecy as long as they could. As the two men are about to flee, they were greeted by an unexpected sight, as present Mike is standing there, with Kyoka Gyro of Class 1 with him, her earphone jack quirk displayed, and recorded the entire conversation. And rounding up the cast are Snipe and Eraserhead. And there the three UA teachers are not pleased at what they just discovered, seeing that Nezu did the right thing in sending the teachers here and trailing the ambassador, and find out if he is hiding something. And now they have evidence to pin the two men down. Even Kyoka is not too pleased that these two Indian men are more than willing to sacrifice an innocent boy just to hide something from UA Academy, and told the three teachers that they did the right thing in bringing her along. Sensei, looks like you did the right thing in bringing me along. Yeah. Of course. Looks like this is more than just a cover-up. Shall we apprehend these two? Yeah. Snipe, present Mike. Loud and clear. We're on it. The Indian ambassador and his assistant stared wide-eyed in horror, seeing that they have been discovered, and attempted to flee. But Aizawa uses his capture cloth to hold them down while Snipe aimed his gun at the two men. And there he asked them who did they talk to, and who is this cult that they mentioned. Although hysterical, the two men were defiant, and insisted that they do not know what they are talking about. Yet Kyoka repeated the recording where the two men's voices showed proof that they are guilty. Yet the two men feigned innocence. I don't know. Beats me. You got the wrong guys. We're innocent. We want a lawyer. We'll sue you. We have our rights. You cannot charge us. Although irritated, Aizawa maintained his cool and tells his fellow UA teachers and Kyoka that they will bring the two men to the police and have them interrogated, which the others agreed. And he asked Kyoka if she is willing to come along, and promised to give her a makeup class as she might have to skip a day or so, which she said it is not a problem. Thanks, Gyro. Sure, sensei. Your quirk will be a big help. Yeah. Come on. We got to get some clues from these two and figure out what these guys have to do with covering up the fact that Midoriya is in anger. Right. Let's go. Yes, sensei. And so the three UA teachers and Kyoka drags the two men and are heading for the police station. And soon paramedics arrived and took care of the dead caterer. Whilst the UA teachers are hoping that the cops there would instill pressure to make the two men confess everything they know, so that they could get some leads on why they two men are trying hard to hide the fact that Midoriya is somewhere in India and why cover up his possible situation. Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Yuika. Anata dake nai itakute imidimo zoto. Aim no hai nai wa omoidasu negai hitatsu dake. Anata no myun nai wasarita. Watashi no kakura. Mata soko nai eru. Tajita hano naka nemitaru. Omoi te eu na no Pandora no hauski. Toiki shinabasada tamare. Itsimidimo maitita. Cake ochita watashi no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no katachi nai kawarta kutsu. Myun wo matasu no wa anata dake. Itsimidimo mataru. Here in the rain. Ch. 15. Zukakatsu no kochiki. The time now is 20 o'clock, and the airplane that Gran Torino is riding has left the Japanese airspace, which he is glancing at the window, as he is just moments away from leaving Japanese airspace. And as he is about to relax, he checked his smartphone and got a messenger text from a reliable source, saying that the three UA teachers and Kyoka Gyro have apprehended the Indian ambassador and his assistant, who were out conniving with someone and said something about the cult of Fugees. The message also said that Kyoka recorded the two men's conversation and the possible connection to the situation at India. As Torino continued to read the message, he saw an audio file attached and secretly played it, which made him feel concerned for Midoriya, as he sensed that the ninth holder of the One for All quirk may be embroiled in a situation that may be connected to the snake attacks that was mentioned to him by Nezu. He then hid his smartphone when a stewardess passed by and offered him complimentary snacks and drinks, which he requested for peanuts and a Sprite, which the stewardess complied. And a minute later she delivered it to him and Torino thanked her for the service, which she says it is nothing. As Torino is about to resume in reading his messenger app, he is a bit startled when the stewardess shrieked when an Indian passenger molested her in front of the passengers, which the suspect did not mind it and attempted to raise her skirt, triggering a word war between the two. Sir. What? Stop that. No. It is a man's duty to explore a woman. You pervert. You women are created to pleasure us men. Maniac. Oh, you wench. As the stewardess slapped the pervert retaliated with a slap of his own, knocking her down. And this made the other passengers feel terrified, as the pervert is quite muscular, and attempted to rape her in front of the others, confident that no one would dare interrupt him. However, Torino sighed at seeing that the passengers are too scared to try helping the stewardess, and decided to go deal with the pervert himself, and approached the fool, asking him to stop the foolishness and return to his seat, saying that the disturbance he is causing would cause problems inside the airplane, reasoning that this would land him in trouble. However, the perverted Indian national showed no fear and started to insult Torino, unaware of the fact that Torino is a pro-hero, because the elderly man is dressed like a safari hunter. Stay out of this, you Asian dwarf. Excuse me. This doesn't concern you. It is for me. Mind your own business, you impotent old man. That's a low-blow comment coming from you. Get lost and do not interfere. As the perverted Indian national is about to pull the stewardess' panties off, Torino provoked the troublemaker by saying that the stewardess prefer real men, and not men who are micro-sized, stating that the man's penis is as soft as a pasta macaroni on a soup. The other passengers stared wide-eyed at hearing this, and wondered if Torino is really that senile, fearing that the perverted Indian national will surely beat the elderly man up without mercy. That idiot. What is he thinking? He'll get hurt. Someone do something. Not me. I'm not a pro-hero. You do it. Why me? However, Torino uses his cane and jabbed it hard on the man's balls, causing the troublemaker to kneel down in pain. Then Torino uses the cane to do an uppercut, sending the man upwards and hit his head on the ceiling before hitting the floor. The man is knocked out and will be out for the duration of the trip to India. The other passengers gasped at seeing Torino effortlessly took out the troublemaker and wondered who is he, unaware of the fact that Torino is really a pro-hero. No way. Did he? How? He took the guy out with just a stick. That's just what the heck is he? Is he really a senior citizen? As the rest of the crew helps the injured stewardess, Torino told the crew to tie up the troublemaker so he won't harass anyone, which the crew obliges and thanked him for the help, and assured to him that the troublemaker won't be causing any more disturbance throughout the trip. Thank you. We appreciate it. We owe you one. Sure. Just tie him up so he won't try anything foolish again. We will. We'll get to it. Again, we thank you. No problem. A citizen's duty. X. The scene shifts back at an unspecified area within India, where Midoriya managed to sneak his way around the new entrance to the cult's lair, as he began to notice something about the surrounding area he is in, as he saw that some of the mountain walls sports several skull faces attached. And this made the boy feel wary, as had a feeling that the cult he is facing may not be the usual types, and waited for a proper time to make his next move, as he saw that several cult members are armed. The next scene shows that another group of cult members arrived, and brought more kidnapped children with them. And you can see that the children are severely malnourished, as they came from several impoverished areas within India. And the children were visibly weak to walk on their own. And the cult members showed their ruthlessness by kicking the downed child repeatedly until the child is killed. Then one of the cult members doused the dead body in gasoline before setting it on fire, and warned the children of a similar fate if they dare oppose them, making the children tremble in fear. There the cult members made their warning clear as they grabbed another child, douse her in gasoline before setting her on fire, and the cult members began chanting the indoctrination oath unabashedly. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Angered by what the cult members did, Midoriya went into action and uses the full cowling to propel himself towards the cult members, and uses the shoot-style kick attacks to disable the villains and knock them out, and went to the children to assure them that he will save them. The frightened children begged Midoriya to get them out of here, as they want to go home to their families and live quietly. Please. Help us. I don't want to die. We want to go home. Please. Help us. I don't want to die. We want to go home. Wah. Suddenly more cult members arrived, and they threw some liquid elements towards him, which Midoriya unintentionally evaded, which he discovered that the liquids were gasoline. And there the shocked Midoriya told the children to run as fast as they could, fearing that the cult members will set the children on fire. As the children ran off, Midoriya prepared himself to stall the cult members, but then he saw the children pass by the wall that has a huge skull head, which the mouth opened and breathes out fire, which turned out to be a booby trap, and the children screamed as they are set on fire. Ay. Gigi Jaya. Ah. Arg. Ay. Gigi Jaya. Ah. Harg. In less than 90 seconds the children were charred to death, and Midoriya was shaken at what happened. And there the cult members unrepentantly celebrated, as they chanted the indoctrinated oath of the cult. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Anger started to build up as he couldn't believe how cruel the cult is, and yet the cult members are like puppets, as they repeated the same indoctrination he chanted a while ago, which further infuriated Midoriya. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya rushed towards the cult members and unleashed the Delaware Smash and beats up the cult members, and he is momentarily blinded by rage as he witnessed how the cult slaughter the children without mercy or remorse. However, the cult members are like expendable ones, as in the end, they chanted the same indoctrination over and over before being put out of commission. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Once the cult members are taken out, Midoriya slowly calms down and stared at the charred remains of the dead children. And he apologized for not being able to save them from the cult. I'm sorry, I couldn't, really I. Suddenly the skulls that were seen on the walls began to open its mouth, where it fired spears, which caused Midoriya to take evasive action, as he realized that the skills are more than just decorations. They are booby traps. Damn. Didn't think those things are armed. At the police station, Tsukachi is interrogating the Indian ambassador and his assistant, as he was told by Aizawa and the others about what happened, and despite the evidence presented by Gyro, using her earphone jack. The ambassador and his assistant were defiant, as they maintain their innocence and insists that their basic rights were violated. Tsukachi, however, said that witnesses saw how he murdered the snack bar owner, as well as saying that the ambassador claiming that he is a member of a cult. And there he asked the ambassador why go to such lengths, just to cover the fact that Midoriya is in danger while in India. And why he refused to provide a welfare check, just to see if Midoriya is safe or not. However, both the ambassador and his assistant reiterated that they are innocent, and that they demanded a lawyer to represent them, and made it known that they will sue UA Academy for the wrongful arrest and fabricated charges. We have a right to self-incrimination. We want a lawyer. We demand a lawyer. We will sue you. You will pay. That's right. You humiliated us. Outside the interrogation room, Aizawa and Present Mike stood there, and are rather displeased at the suspect's defiance, and their Mike offered to help in the interrogation. But the assistant police officer advised him against it, as they are not allowed to torture suspects, as this would only worsen the situation. Though Aizawa felt that something is not right here. Snipe and Gyro blinked their eyes, as Aizawa said that basing on what actions the suspects displayed, he had the impression that the suspects are intentionally trying to stall Tsukachi, and are using the same rhetoric just to make time pass. Snipe started to sense that Aizawa may be right, and said that there is a possibility that he may have connections of sorts, as the interrogation has been going on for almost an hour. And there he told his two fellow UA teachers that it's possible that an attack might happen here. Huh? Seriously? That's what my gut instinct says. I see. Who would want to try attacking a police station in the night? I don't have concrete proof, but we should consider this possibility. Although the ambassadors seem to be working alone. I see. We get the gist. Snipe, listen carefully. Huh? What gives? I'm all ears, Eraserhead. Taking Snipe's words in consideration, Aizawa tells him to escort Gyro back to Heights Alliance. But Gyro asked why, though Aizawa said that this is a teacher's duty to protect the students, and assured to her that he and Present Mike will handle things from here, as well as pointing out that this is now a police matter, and they will deal with the suspects. Snipe agreed, and said that the police will take over from here, and said that Gyro is still a minor. Hence it is justified that her safety comes first, since curfew would be enforced in a matter of hours, which Gyro slowly conceded. That's why. I see. Don't worry. Eraserhead will inform us if they get any leads. Let us have faith in them and the police. Okay. Let's go, Gyro. Yes. As Gyro and Snipe are about to leave, they slowly heard the Indian ambassador screaming like someone whose right has been violated, and demanded that he be given a lawyer or else he will sue the police and UA Academy for violating his rights. However, Tsukachi said that while the ambassador will be given a lawyer, the fact remains that he killed an innocent man while intentionally shirking his duty to do a welfare check on Midoriya in India, as well as he is being accused of being connected to a cult that Gyro heard from him. Yet the ambassador, along with his assistant, is stubborn to the end. We have a right to self-incrimination. We want a lawyer. We demand a lawyer. We will sue you. You will pay. That's right. You humiliated us. Sighing, Snipe tells Gyro that they need to get going, and Gyro asked again if this is okay, and the UA teacher assured to her that Aizawa and the police will figure out a way to check on Midoriya. Don't worry. Eraserhead will inform us if they get any leads. Let us have faith in them and the police. Okay. Let's go, Gyro. Yes. Nodding, Gyro went along with Snipe, and leaves the police station, where they are heading to the parking lot where their jeep is parked, which they use in bringing the suspects here. And as the two walked, Gyro sensed that they are being followed, as behind them 6 individuals are seen walking, wearing hats and trench coats. Gyro whispered to Snipe about it, and he told her to act naturally and not give herself away, which she asked if he is sure about this, which the UA teacher assured that everything will be okay. It's fine. I'll give you the instructions the moment we find an opening. Okay. Now act natural like you didn't notice them. Yes. Now keep going and don't look back. Yes. Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Eureka. Anata dake ni adacute emadimo zudo. Ain no hai nai wa omodasu negai hitatsu dake. Anata no mun nai wasarita. Watashi no kakara. Mata soko nai aru. Tajita hano naka nemadaru. Omoid te iu na no Pandora no hauski. Toiki shinabasata tamarade. Itsumadimo maitita. Cake ochita watashi no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no katachi nai kawarda kutsu. Mun wo matasu no wa anata dake. Itsumadimo madaru. Here in the rain. Ch. 16. Sanohoka no Keiji. At the police station, Tsukachi is trying hard to make the ambassador reveal something. Yet the ambassador appeared desperate as he insisted that he is innocent, and reiterated that the charges lobbied against him are fabricated and baseless. Even though Aizawa and Present Mike stated that they saw the ambassador killed the snack bar owner in cold blood and in full view. By then a lawyer came and said he is here to represent the ambassador and his assistant, which Tsukachi nodded, and there he told the lawyer of the situation. But then the lawyer began using baseless rhetorics just to confuse the interrogators and insists that the ambassador be released, which slowly caused a tension inside the police station. I say you release my client at once. We cannot. The evidence against him are strong. You have no proof. We have 2 witnesses. They have poor eyesight. They are colorblind. Listen, sir, you. Release them or else I will sue you and this city. Aizawa is slowly losing patience here, and wondered if the lawyer is for real or just a clown. But then he noticed that the lawyer appeared to be of Indian descent, and noted that his actions are almost the same as the ambassador, which Present Mike also noticed. And the 2 teachers wondered if there is some kind of conspiracy happening here. Present Mike. Yeah, well, I get it. It looks like we may have gotten ourselves a bit of a conspiracy here. And this somewhat reminded me of Bollywood. We need to get a background check on this lawyer. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe we should call for. Suddenly, 7 men entered the interrogation room, where each of them claimed that they are here to represent the ambassador, and said that the charges against him are absurd and unbelievable, saying that the justice system is a tool to carry out a miscarriage of justice, and demanded that the ambassador be released at once. Your justice system is poor. Like catching a fish with a lure. You authorities are impure. And that makes you anti-poor. On top of that, you policemen are moonlighting as whore. And that is that, and nothing more. You are going to kick the door. The other lawyer joins in and branded the police as the fraud of justice, and they all vowed to make Japan pay for the mistreatment of the Indian ambassador, and even threatened to bring this matter to the International Criminal Court. As Present Mike is annoyed at the scene, Aizawa's radio blared, where Gyro called and said that she and Snipe are under attack by gunmen, who are of Indian descent, which she said that the gunmen are chanting something related to the goddess Kali, which made Aizawa baffled, and told her that she is permitted to use her quirk to defend herself. By then he heard a scuffle as Gyro managed to hold off 2 of her attackers, and Aizawa can hear the attackers chant the doctrine that the cult of Thugis chanted in India. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Aizawa heard that line when they apprehended the ambassador, and then he glanced at the 8 lawyers, and noticed that the 8 are starting to act erratic, as they gradually said that Kali will slowly cleanse the impurity of society. And this made him feel uneasy, and whispered to both Present Mike and Tsukachi to be ready, as he has a feeling that the police station is about to be attacked. Tsukachi is surprised to hear this, while Present Mike is bracing himself, and both the ambassador and his assistant are starting to get worried as the 8 lawyers are slowly losing grip on their common sense. As the 8 lawyers told the ambassador that he has failed in upholding faith of Kali, hence he must be given divine judgment, which the ambassador said that he hasn't, and has never revealed anything to anyone, thus unwittingly expose himself as having knowledge of what is happening at India that involves Midoriya. However, the 8 lawyers finally lost themselves, as they are revealed to be members of the cult of Thugis, and the brainwashing took hold of the 8, as they began chanting the indoctrination that the cult leader has instilled on them. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. As Tsukachi is about to call for reinforcement, the 8 cult members open their blazers, revealing that they are carrying vests laced with bombs, and Aizawa became alarmed at this as Present Mike uses his quirk to produce a sonic sound and used it to bore a hole on the wall, where the trio quickly escaped, and moments later the police station exploded, leveling half of the building. Aizawa asked Tsukachi and Mike if they are okay, which the 2 confirmed, and there Aizawa told Tsukachi to contact other precincts for help, as he has a feeling that there may be more of them within the area. Are you sure, Aizawa? Yes. Okay, but what? Present Mike, and I will deal with the rest. I see. Please hurry. Okay. Aizawa then told Mike to go check on Snipe and Gyro, as he is now aware that they too might be in danger, assuming that the attackers are also carrying bombs, and Present Mike told Aizawa to be careful as the now damaged building might collapse. You better be careful. Yeah. You'll be okay? I will. Then I'm off. Don't get too overconfident. Ha. The two UA teachers split up as they are going to do whatever they could, as they now have an idea of what they are facing and how this is connected to what is happening at India. As Aizawa carefully entered the police station, he is shocked at the severity of the damages, as half of the place has been leveled, and saw that 90% of the workforce are killed on the spot. And as he searched the wreckage, he managed to find a few survivors. Aizawa checked on them, where a few are badly hurt and are begging for help. Ooh. Oh. I'm hurt. Help me. Save me. I'm dying. Get me help. Mother. Aizawa picked up his smartphone and contacted the emergency hotline and told the dispatcher the situation. And after that he applied first aid treatment on the injured. And soon paramedics arrived and began to assist the injured while Aizawa went to the interrogation room, where he saw the mangled remains of the cult members who disguised themselves as lawyers. They were already dead the moment they detonated themselves. And then he saw the dismembered remains of the Indian ambassador. And there the investigator came and is shocked at what he is seeing. And there Aizawa told him what happened. And the investigator is baffled as to why a cult from India would want to attack Japan. Aizawa said that the only lead they can get is whether Gran Torino would be able to arrive at India and find Midoriya, as he has a feeling that Midoriya might have an idea of what the connections are, and those would be the keys in unraveling this mystery. Gran Torino went to India. Yes. He is now our only lead in finding out the connections, and why one of my students is being targeted. This is... I know. Still, I can't believe that. X. Inside the plane en route to India. Gran Torino is sitting on his seat, as the pilot announced that in just a few minutes, they will be arriving soon at India. And the elderly pro-hero sighed as he had spent a few hours on flight. But then his musing is interrupted when the troublemaker woke up, bewildered that he is tied up and demanded that he be set free, screaming and cursing. The other passengers berated him for causing trouble and told him to shut up and behave himself, as they do not want any more trouble that would ruin the experience. Oh, shut up already. You troublemaker. You'll ruin our trip. You suck. Now shut up and behave. Or we'll knock you out. Someone shut his mouth. Or we'll kill him. As the troublemaker began to act in an unruly way, Torino came and smacked him on the head with his walking cane, knocking him out once more, and the stewardess thanked Torino for the help, though he smiled and said it is nothing. Thank you, sir. It's okay. We appreciate it. Oh, no problem. I want a peaceful flight. This goon will be taken into custody once we land. That's good to hear. Now please take your seat. Okay. Indira Gandhi International Airport is the primary international airport serving Delhi, India. The airport, spread over an area of 5,106 acres 2,066 ha, is situated in Palam, Delhi, 15 kilometers southwest of the New Delhi railway station and 16 kilometers from New Delhi city center. Named after Indira Gandhi, the former Prime Minister of India, it is the busiest airport of India in terms of passenger traffic, and the scene shifts at the arrival area where Gran Torino approached the arrival gate and showed to the guard his passport, and the guard made a thorough check and finds nothing irregular, and glanced at the elderly pro-hero, who is dressed like an ordinary senior citizen going on a vacation. The guard sighed and asked if he has any relatives, as he finds it a bit disheartening that W senior citizen is traveling overseas by himself, and wondered why the youth today never thought of accompanying their elders. Though Torino said that it was his decision to travel alone, saying that his younger relatives would only get in the way, much to the airport guard's disbelief, unaware of Torino's true intentions of coming to India. Are you sure about traveling here by yourself? Of course. But, at your current age. Thanks, but do not worry. I'm going to be fine. Are you sure? You should have brought someone with you. I might look old, but rest assured I'm still energetic as a 40-year-old. Fear not. I'm completely healthy, as you can see. Seeing that there is nothing irregular here, the guard allowed Torino to go ahead, and the elderly pro-hero proceeded to get his belongings and left the airport, where he hailed a taxi and told the driver to take him to the nearest hostel, which the driver obliges, and within several minutes Torino arrived, and after paying the cab driver, he went to the hostel and made arrangements. Once settling onto a room, Torino stealthily brought out a device-like item, which was given to him before leaving Japan. And it is revealed to be one of Hatsume's inventions, in which it can locate Midoriya's smartphone through the use of GPS. And within a minute Torino was able to locate Midoriya's signal. And upon verifying Midoriya's current location, Torino was quite shocked upon realizing that the area where the signal traced is at a mountainous area. The said location where the GPS stated is revealed to be the Western Ghats. which is a mountain range that covers an area of 160,000 square kilometers, 62 square miles, in a stretch of 1,600 kilometers, 990 miles parallel to the western coast of the Indian peninsula. Traversing the states of Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Torino wondered, why is Midoriya there, and what is he up to? And taking advantage of not having anyone here, Torino stealthily sent a messenger PM to Japan to inform Yue about the discovery he made. And now he wondered what kind of situation Midoriya is in. Honestly, what was the kid thinking? Hitomi no Kara by Fiction Junction Yuka. Opening song of Madlax. Anada dake nai adacute imidimo zuro. Aim no hai nai wa omodasu negai hitatsu dake. Anada no mu nai wasareta. Watashi no kakura. Mata soko nai aru. Tajita hano naka nemetaru. Omoi to iu na no Pandora no hauski. Toiki shinabasada tamarade. Itsumadimo maitita. Cake ochida watashi, no hitomi wa. Mikazuki no katachi nai kawarta kutsu. Myun wo matasu no wa anada dake. Itsumadimo mataru. Here in the rain. Ch. 17. Sukuro Zaruto. Back at Japan, the scene shows that Aizawa and Tsukachi arrived at the parking lot where Snipe and Gyro are there, as they were unharmed as pro-hero Endeavor was there. And a flashback scene revealed that when Snipe and Gyro were trying to fight back the Thuji cult members, Endeavor and Burnin were passing by and saw the situation, prompting the two to aid Snipe and Gyro. As Endeavor uses his quirk, the Thuji cult members were programmed to sacrifice themselves in order to eliminate everyone in sight, and is revealed that they were wearing strapped-on explosive devices and detonate themselves. But Endeavor uses his quirk to reroute the explosive impact, and Burnin took Snipe and Gyro to a safe distance. As the smoke cleared, the attackers are already dead, as their bodies, particularly their body parts, were scattered all over and burned beyond recognition. Aizawa and Tsukachi then approached the others and told them what happened, and Endeavor is quite intrigued as he finds it odd. Why would someone from India would go to certain length to cover up the fact that something happened to Midoriya, and yet the government officials are willing to turn blind eye? This is quite serious. Yeah, it is. Why would anyone want to hide the fact that Midoriya is in danger, yet they are willing to cover it up? I initially believed that there is incompetence in the part of the embassy, but now some kind of cult from India is involved, based on what we figured so far. By then Aizawa's smartphone rang and he answered it, in which it was a messenger call from Torino. And there the elderly pro-hero told Aizawa about what he discovered so far, such as Midoriya's current whereabouts. And hearing this, Endeavor uses his smartphone and did a Google Map search and got a visual on location that Torino provided. He, Burnin, Snipe and Gyro were surprised to find out that the location was a mountainous area and are baffled as to why Midoriya would be at such a place, and that it is currently nightfall. That kid. At that place, at this time. Whoa, that kid sure likes to travel so far. Midoriya. If what Torino say is true, a racerhead, it seems that something sinister is going on. And I never thought it would end up like this. This sure reminded me of the movie Indiana Jones. That Harrison Ford movie sure brought me a lot of memories. At least it's more grounded than Star Wars. I ought to tell Class 1 about this. Torino said that he is planning to go there at once, but Aizawa told Torino that he should rest at the hostel for now and commence the search tomorrow morning, reasoning that there is a possibility that some government officials in India may have links to a secret cult. Torino listened carefully as Aizawa told the elderly pro-hero what transpired here in Japan, and said that the Indian ambassador is killed by cult members who intend to silence anyone they deem a threat in exposing the cult in India and in Japan. Torino didn't like the idea of taking a rest, as he has a feeling that Midoriya would need help, but saw the logic and took Aizawa's advice and decided to rest up after a long flight and set his alarm, intending to head to the targeted location by early morning. After ending the call, Aizawa instructed Snipe to escort Gyro back to Heights Alliance, while he and Tsukachi are going to make plans on how to persuade other Indian government officials to accept their request to check the area that Midoriya is at, as they are sure that something malevolent is taking place. The scene shifts inside the Thuji hideout, where Midoriya is under heavy attack as several cult members came out and are armed with machine guns and brazenly open fire, spraying the area with a hail of bullets, which Midoriya is forced to use full cowling to evade the gunfire, seeing that the cult members are shooting mindlessly. But the situation slowly worsens as the walls are revealed to have skull faces, and suddenly fired several spears, and surprisingly managed to graze Midoriya on his right arm and left leg. And as he evaded the hail of spears, one of the cult members brought out an RPG and struck the wall, causing rock debris and shrapnel to scatter, and struck Midoriya on the left side of his face. And his left cheek was busted open and began to bleed quite heavily. Damn, I've been hit. Then Midoriya saw other cult members brought out RPGs as well, and are ready to open fire. And they are clearly indoctrinated as they mindlessly proclaimed their loyalty to the cult, as if they are acting like soulless puppets who serve the cult leader without a care. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya then saw that more cult members arrived, and are armed with high-powered firearms, and are ready to open fire. And the teen boy stared in surprise at seeing the vast numbers of the attackers, as they opened fire and shooting recklessly, while praising the cult's name in praise, not caring if the gunfire hits their fellow cult members, as if they were programmed to take out their target no matter what. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Then one of the cult members fired an RPG, which Midoriya saw it, and reacting by instinct, he uses the Black Whip quirk and managed to take hold of the RPG shell and carefully maneuver it and threw the shell towards the cult members, and the impact kills majority of the cult members, while the remaining ones appeared to be unfazed and proceeded to fire their guns. As one of the cult members fired another RPG shell, Midoriya uses the Black Whip quirk and grabbed the shell and threw it towards the opposite wall, and the RPG shell struck the wall where the huge skull face is displayed. And it is revealed that it was booby-trapped, as it shoots out several spears, and it struck the remaining cult members, killing them on the spot. Midoriya then uses the opportunity to get away and look for a way further inside to find the hidden lair, and put a stop to the cult's malevolent plans. I need to regroup and patch my wounds. X. The scene further zoomed forward where you can see several children are being held captive. Some are being used for slave labor like mining minerals and rocks, and you can see the captors whipping the captive children if they hesitate. As some of the captive children are in poor health, yet the captors do not care and continue to whip them just to get them to keep working. Get up. Do not stall. Work. No rest. Do it now, or you'll suffer worse. Keep working. Take that. After some minutes, 5 of the captive children perished, and the captors ordered the henchmen to dispose of the bodies by having them thrown at a vat of molten steel, where the bodies of the dead children are melted away and thus cannot be retrieved. There the captors threatened the captive children that they'll meet the same fate if they disobey their captors, and the frightened children resumed their labor despite their gradual failing health. And to make an example, they grabbed 2 more children and threw them onto the vat, where they screamed in pain before eventually died and burnt and melted, and the other children cried in fear. There the captors shouted the same chants that they have been indoctrinated, which shows that they too were brainwashed into serving the cult of Kali. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Not far, the leader of the cult, Akka the Grand Vizier, is seen over the upper balcony area of the hideout, watching malevolently at seeing the children abused and tormented, as he is pleased that he has enough slave labor to do the work for him, and now he is instructing some of his henchmen to procure more children from neglected villages to serve as more slave labor. Then one of his henchmen came and told the Grand Vizier that Midoriya managed to defeat several of their men and seemingly escaped, which the Grand Vizier appeared to be displeased. But the henchman said that Midoriya is badly wounded and assured that finding him will be easy. The Grand Vizier nodded and told his henchmen to bring more men with him and find Midoriya, as well as having the boy dead and bring his body here, so it would serve as a sacrifice for the ritual, which the henchman nodded in acknowledgement. You understand, do you? Yes, my Vizier. Find that Jap, kill him. Yes, my Vizier. I don't care how you do it. Just kill that damn Jap. Yes, my Vizier. And bring me his body. It will be a good offering. Yes, my Vizier. X. The next moments showed that several more cult members are mobilized and went to various areas within the lair and outside the lair to look for Midoriya. And they were persistent in finding him. And though they find a trail of bloodstains, the cult members seemingly lost track. Yet they kept on searching without taking a break. It is shown that Midoriya managed to find a hiding place within the caves that the cult members seemingly failed to notice. And there you can see that Midoriya took off his shirt and ripped off the long sleeve parts and used them as bandages as he managed to halt the bleeding. And he was forced to wait and stall as he needed to take a break to recover some stamina. He remained hidden for several hours, and as he checked his watch, he realized that the time now is 3 o'clock India time, and he decided to keep on moving, and slowly peered from the entrance of the cave. seeing that the coast is seemingly clear, and slowly moves out while being careful in not giving himself away. Okay, the coast is clear. Suddenly a hail of bullets are seen raining in and Midoriya was forced to take evasive action. And there he saw that more cult members arrived, and are armed with high-powered firearms, and are shooting recklessly. And the teen boy stared in surprise as the vast number of the attackers are increasing, as they open fire and shooting away with reckless abandon. All the while praising the cult's name in praise, not caring if the gunfire hits their fellow cult members, as if they were programmed to take out their target no matter what. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Midoriya is forced to use full cowling to evade the gunfire, as the cult members went after him. And the chase took about 10 minutes before the teen boy accidentally entered a seemingly unknown cave entrance. And he looked around, where he noticed that 3 skull faces are on the wall in front of him, in a horizontal display top to bottom. As the cult members entered, they surrounded Midoriya, and once more chanted the indoctrination that were instilled into their minds, not caring about the situation they are in. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Death to the infidels. Those who disrespect the goddess Kali must die. Long live the cult. We will rule the world. Then the cave entrance began to close where a single, huge skull face, sporting a different color, emerged and opened its mouth while the eyes lit. And Midoriya realized that he accidentally walked into a trap. And what's more, the cult members are here, and he wondered if they were intended to be sacrificed, as in disposing them as mere disposable. No, they wouldn't. Suddenly, the 3 horizontally displayed skull statues were activated. Its eyes glowed and fired several lasers. And as Midoriya evaded the laser attack, the blast struck the cult members, slowly killing them. And the singular skull statue began to move up and down and fired lasers as well, and began to shoot down the remaining cult members until Midoriya is the only one left. Damn it. Midoriya then realized that this was indeed a trap, and saw the cult members laid dead on the ground, their bodies riddled by laser blasts, while laying in a pool of blood. And there he glanced at both sides as the skull statues are ready to commence the attack. Arumana, no Kaisuke Stage 3 boss battle theme. The 4 skull statues open fire, shooting out lasers, and Midoriya is forced to move fast. But in doing so causes the wounds on his body to open, and he is feeling the pain. And now he has to think of a way to disable the skull statues, as he realized that he cannot keep dodging for long, as this would alert the other cult members and head here.